Ho, ho, ho! Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
There are no winners here, Bob. You just pulled us all into the losers column with you.
Good.
KZ, excellent.
I say words.
And Mr. Feel,
I didn't know Tom Holland was British.
here on Gigaboots.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I went through a bit of sickness in between, in the last episode. Wasn't here. It was kind of rough. I decided to stay away from toxic things.
Okay.
So I got a McRib.
So did I. McRib spoiler cast.
We all did it.
Spoiler cast, we did it.
I'm like, I got a stomach bug. I guess the best way to do that is right before a podcast, buy a McRib for the first time in my life.
Oh, yeah, that seems like a really good choice you've made. The McRib. To summarize it, imagine a burger, but it's not made with hamburger. It's made with pork, but it's not good pork. It's a frozen patty, and it's extra fucking wide. And to cover up the fact that it tastes bland as shit, we covered it in a sauce that's also not much less bland, and onions that have barely any flavor. The McRib. Why do people care about this thing? I don't get it.
Because marketing. That's it.
McMarketing?
McMarketing.
Feel, as it's a spoiler cast, I'm going to need you to give me your early thoughts on the McRib, followed by a sound.
This is the first time I had a McRib since 2006. I didn't really like it in 2006, but I thought my tastes have changed quite a lot since then. I thought it would be different this time. It wasn't, so I'm going to give it a ugh.
Yeah, that's basically the rabbit hole I went down of, like, maybe I'm in a different place in my life. Maybe this is good enough. I came into having an appreciation for McNuggets pretty late in my life. Maybe there's going to be a come around, turn around sort of thing with the fucking No, the McRib's terrible.
The main thing that I didn't remember about the McRib was that it's so big.
It's fucking huge.
It's way too big. It's like, oh man, this wasn't very good. I have to keep eating it, though.
It's the dude in the Sonic suit eating the fucking chili dog while crying.
Yeah. But yeah, they just completely dip it in the barbecue sauce. It's fully soaked.
I mean, honestly, if it was
These are my ribs.
If it was barbecue sauce, this thing might have any saving grace. Their barbecue sauce is all right.
I think it is their barbecue sauce this thing is covered in.
I don't think so. The barbecue
It's just
sauce
not
has
enough.
any flavor. This tasted like...
Well, you see, the pork patty is sucking the flavor away.
Yes, I think it's like this pork has so little flavor and just a really gross texture. So it's like you need so much sauce and onions and pickles to counteract that, and all three are in short supply on the sandwich.
Yes, they are. Holy shit. And also the onions, like, I could barely taste them at all over the rest of the sandwich.
Yeah, there's not
which is
enough.
Weird. Yeah, exactly.
Like, if there was a bunch of onions, more pickles, they actually sauced it. I don't know, maybe you put potato chips on it or something so it has any texture other than mud.
Other than sponge.
Oh, yeah. When I put it in my mouth and bit down and I went, ooh. And then I just coughed it up and went, this is why I made sure to buy nuggets alongside this, because I knew this might have happened.
Now, see, this is fantastic, because Bob and I also bought nuggets with we didn't order ours
I
together.
wish I had gotten back up.
See, the problem with you is you're just too brave. You're too brave and honest.
Feels not afraid of commitment.
Hey, I still ate that whole McRib.
I didn't eat the whole McRib. I'm like, no, I
well,
ate
never mind. Never mind. Feels the coward. I ate the whole thing, and then I ate my chicken nuggets.
I didn't eat the entire thing because they made it wrong. So, like, there was 2 inches of extra pork patty after the bun. It's like, I'm not putting that pork patty in my mouth.
I'm not gonna eat your sponge, motherfucker. Man, it's genuinely so bad. I haven't had a sandwich anywhere near that bad since, I guess, the last time I ate a McRib.
Yeah, I remember this thing being intensely bad when I ate it like 10 years ago. So yeah, it's no surprise that it's still that way.
It's really impressive. You made a sandwich no one can love, but somehow everyone gives a shit when it comes back. I think this is the second McRib I've ever eaten in my life, and I really was depending on maybe Dan's had a turnaround, because there are a lot of things about stuff I order and eat that has changed since then.
Right. I'm just imagining they're like, okay, we need to make it have fake bone, crunchy parts now.
Oh, no. No!
Shut up. Oh my God.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
This is the worst thing since you said they didn't show Joanna Dark's face in the trailer because it's going to be Ronda Rousey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was pretty toxic. I'm sorry.
I was like, how dare... Like, I paused what I was watching when he started talking, and he's like, I thought they would make it a celebrity, and then I just hit play again to try to drown him out. Yeah, I'm never ordering a fucking McRib again. Why the fuck do they do this? It's genuinely the worst sandwich on their menu. I'm positive.
But it's back.
I'm positive a Filet-O-Fish sandwich is better than this.
I wonder if you can customize the McRib. If you can be like, use that terrible pork patty, but give me all the other stuff.
Can you make that sandwich but leave the flavor in? I know normally when you make it, you just take that shit right out. But
can I have a burger covered in your barbecue sauce with a bunch of onions and pickles that doesn't have a sponge in it?
Sorry, sir. You have to eat the sponge.
I'm just thinking of, how do you put an egg on it over there? We put the folded egg thing we do for breakfast. We just slam it in there.
Yeah, you
That'd
just
make
put
it
the
better.
egg disc. Yes, anything would. You can't. I've been thinking about literally anything they could stick on it that they have there.
The McRib patty is an ethereal food, so adding any actual food to the sandwich improves it.
So here's the thing. What if you replace the top bread and bottom bread halves with 4 McGriddle discs?
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of McGriddle. Truly one of the most powerful things on the menu.
It wasn't that long ago I ate this, but it just felt like I'm not actually eating it. I just chew it and it vanishes.
That's true. It does feel like that.
I just think about the McGriddle is like a fourth of the size of a Big Mac, but still has more calories. That's some king shit.
Yeah, that's because the bun is cake and has little nodes of syrup all through it.
Yeah, that's why
I'm
it's
sorry.
good.
All I heard there was, it's good. It's good. It's really good. I've never had such a breakfast sandwich so good before.
If I were to use one word to describe the McGriddle, it's efficient.
It is very efficient at making you die.
I was very sad that they did not serve breakfast all day anymore, so I couldn't get a McRib and a McGriddle with it.
God, that's fucked up. Put a McGriddle on it.
But see, here's the thing. The McGriddle, a lot of people don't realize they've never eaten one. Not only does the bun have maple syrup in it, it's kind of greasy. So it is greased your throat to get the food down faster. And also get it out faster. It's very efficient like that.
It puts a nice layer of grease that's just stuck on the roof of my mouth for the next 3 hours.
Yeah. Gives you a lot of time to think about your life choices.
And I'm like, man, I should get another one.
Oh, man. So we've done the world's only Godfall spoiler cast, and now we've done the McRib spoiler cast. I feel like these two have a very similar energy.
Hey, that's what we do. November and December is our big spoiler cast period.
It's
I would give the McRib a 4.
It performs the task of being a sandwich. That's about it.
I think I'm gonna have to give it a 3. I think there's a wide gamut of a huge spectrum space you have to allot for things that are sandwiches.
I think if you go to a fast food place and get a sandwich, the lowest acceptable bar is the McChicken.
Yeah, but the McChicken's better than this. So
yes, it is. That's my point. The McRib falls far short of achieving being a sandwich.
Look, I didn't say it was an acceptable sandwich. I said it was a sandwich.
Now I would have to eat the McChicken again, right? But I would probably put it 5 or 6. It's not super terrible, right? It's no Whataburger burger. but it's in there in the middle.
What are you giving the McRib?
I was giving it a 3. That thing,
I'm giving it a 4.
It's literally the experience of we engineered an edible sponge. Eat it all.
Now I am going to think of every other fast food burger I've ever had. I'm like, man, it is the worst.
I've never eaten anything with texture this unsettling.
So I know it's
and they know the texture is that bad, which is why it has onions and pickles on it, because the idea would be that those compensate for it being a sponge, but they don't put enough.
Nowhere near enough. So here's my thing, Bob. When I think about what would fill that slot 1 and 2 in my list, in my ranking,
okay,
and it's not technically fast food, but it really is, guys. Merlin's Pizza once had a pizza buffet. I went there and ate shrimp pizza. That would be my 1 because I got sick.
Ugh.
It tasted terrible, and I got sick. So that would be down there. This McRib, it did me no harm.
Right. I guess if you have to account for literally stuff that will make you ill, yeah, there could be.
It's kind of like video games, right? The 1 and the 2 is reserved for games that broke your system, deleted your save file.
So I think I would rather eat the McRib than ever go to Papa John's.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. Man. Bob, what are you giving it?
I'll give it a 3. I'm in the same boat as Dan of this is almost the worst thing you can make.
This literally is sandwich the obligation. It is sandwich going through the motions.
All right, well, I have to be fair then. I can't give it a 1 because I have not experienced permanent damage
Yeah.
but I bit into it and went, this is vile, and then spit it out. So I'll just I will give it a 2. Now I've been making sure to fill out our spoiler cat spreadsheet over here. This ended up getting a 12.
That's probably the lowest thing on
So
it.
according to this, it is in fact the worst thing we've ever reviewed on this show.
No way.
It lost to The Last of Us Part 2 by 4 points.
Jeez, maybe next year.
So I'm just looking here, and yes, it looks like the.
Casey, are you actually adding it to the chart? Because we need to actually add it to the chart.
It's already in the chart, yes. According to this, the 3 worst things we've experienced are the McRib, followed by the Last of Us Part 2, and Days Gone.
Days Gone's going to bring it back when we revisit it.
Those are the 3 only things we have here, I think, that go below a 20.
It's okay, because next year they're gonna do an announcement. They're gonna be like, guys, we forgot to ship the flavor with the McRib last year. We're bringing it back, and this time it has a flavor, like even one.
The McRib Super.
Ooh, remastered edition.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get this in there.
Yeah, that's important. God knows what next thing will happen. I'm going to go ahead and guess Taco Bell will not be the source of it because they stopped trying.
Yeah, no menu.
They stopped having food. Like, do you have potatoes? No.
They don't want a fat roll, so they unequipped their entire menu so that they can run fast.
That's true. Now they're so nimble. Which makes sense because I get through the drive-thru really fast because no one's there.
When I went there last time, they got through it really quick. I assume they just have everything made because they only have 3 items.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
This is what min-maxing is all about. I'm gonna need us to talk about video games.
Yeah,
I have one more food adventure.
Oh my god, you had a food
shit.
adventure? I actually didn't know. What's the
I bought Spam from Winn-Dixie brand.
What?
Oh no, not this! You
The
store brand Spam.
SE Grocers Spam.
I have to say, this is the most ill-advised thing you have ever done in your life, I think.
Yeah.
Look, the Spam was on sale, so I went there. They were sold out of Spam though, so I had to, downgrade.
I can't go home.
I can't just say no to Spam.
So first you open it, and you know how there's usually the gel around Spam?
Yeah.
Instead it's just liquid, completely liquid.
No.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh no!
I fry it up. No matter what I do, I get it to burn on the outside, but it's still soggy.
God, I would have just run it through water and then dried it and then started cutting it and then frying it.
Bob just leaves it on the porch all day to dry out.
Yeah, it's got a. I dry her up. It got salted.
Yeah, fucking put a clothespin on it.
And then the flavor is just weird and wrong and saltier than even Spam should be.
Oh.
Yeah, so that wasn't good. I can't suggest SE Grocers brand Spam. It's only 50 cents cheaper than regular Spam. Just pay the 50 cents.
Bob, hear me out.
That's also
Fucking Game Pass of meat.
that's also like armor. What the fuck is the armor shit called?
Treat?
Yeah, treat.
Treat. Yeah, treat
Yeah.
like the same way.
Huh.
So what if, hear me out, Bob,
Mm-hmm.
you made like a few layers of cheesecloth and then wrung it dry?
I don't want to have to do that to my Spam.
You know, I'm looking for you are slowly building your own recipe of the poverty man's McGriddle.
Okay, absolute last food thing, and I assure you, I didn't play jack shit this week, so hey, we saved time
Thank
there.
fucking Christ.
I got a Soda Stream.
Ooh.
You did.
For people who don't know, Soda Stream is a device you bring into your home to make your own soda using syrups they provide, or, you know, they don't recommend it, but you could, in theory, just make your own. Has a CO2 tank that you stick in the back of the machine, and you just put water in the bottles, and, you know, carbonate it, and then pour the syrup on top. I have tried 5 different flavors, and as a soda junkie, I'm here to tell you there's only like one good flavor, and the second flavor's mediocre. The rest is so bad that I would just
This is
not
what
even
I've been
recommend
told.
it. Yes, and this is coming from a fucking addict. Like, this is like if a dude who was fucking addicted to heroin got a product that made heroin in his house, and he told you, I'm not sure it's worth it, man. Like, come on. Running through it real quick, the most surprising thing to me, as I mentioned on the podcast before, Cheerwine's incredible. I love that soda. I don't like cherry colas. Like, I don't at all. Like, cherry Pepsi's gross. It is disgusting. And most every other cherry cola I've ever tried is bad. Weirdly enough, it's the best Soda Stream flavor. I did not expect that. I was kind of annoyed when that's all Walmart had. It's actually a pretty solid cola, just has like a little bit of a cherry flavor. The other things I tried, Dr. Pete.
Fuck off. Dr. Pete?
What was it? Mountain Mist?
Oh, come on.
Because they couldn't call it Mountain Dew.
What's the other one? Fucking Sierra Water?
See, that's the thing. When I first read the name, I'm like, is it trying to be Mountain Dew or Sierra Mist? This is important because one of those I really want, and the other one I hate.
Yeah, I'm just like,
You know, there's
yeah.
there's soda knockoffs that are fine. Like most Coke knockoffs are acceptable, I think, if you're poor.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tasted a Dr. Pepper knockoff that wasn't just offensive.
Dr. Thunder's okay.
Dr. Thunder's okay.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's the real king. Dr. Thunder. I'm looking at a picture that has a bunch of different cans.
And Mr. Pibb, honestly, I kind of liked. I has been forever since I had it, though.
Yeah, Mr. Pibb's excellent.
Some of these are so bad. Dr. Fine, Dr. Becker, Dr. Perky,
It would be
Dr. K, the Doctor.
It would kill me if these were Soda Stream and they just everything's a doctor over there.
Dr.
be really
Choice,
good.
Dr. Bull, Dr. Bob,
Yeah, you found it.
Oh, man.
Dr. Skipper, Dr. Trimmer, Dr. Snap,
Dr. Trimmer.
Dr. Spice, Spicy Cola.
Dr. Shasta.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I have the opposite opinion here because I feel like every Coke knockoff I've had, I've hated like a lot.
Okay, so let's run through. You don't like Czech Cola?
No.
Okay. You don't like RC Cola?
Crown.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've had Crown.
He said the full
Oh,
name.
Yeah, I said
Oh,
Royal Crown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like RC.
Um
I don't like the Publix brand at all.
I don't either. So I worked at Publix for years. I think many of their products are fine, the store brand version. Yeah. I hate their soda. It's disgusting. I fucking abhor it.
I almost tried to ask him about one, and I'm like, you guys don't have a fucking Brookshire's in Florida. I don't know why I'm going to be like, how do you feel about Brookshire's Blast? Which is what their brand of fucking Coke is.
That's a pretty good brand name.
RC Cola is weird because it's like a middle step between Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah, it is.
It's very strange.
Okay, so backing up, the Mountain Dew knockoff's called Fountain Mist.
Fountain Mist.
Because fountain sounds like mountain.
Oh my god.
And mist instead of dew.
I'm gonna shoot myself.
So once you read that, you see the Sierra Mist, Fountain Mist, you worry that it's the Sierra Mist knockoff.
Oh my god.
No, they just named the Sierra Mist knockoff Lemon Lime.
Just giving up.
I've had enough. I'm looking at a SodaStream picture. It's just 2 ice cubes.
They're like, this is how you drink this, right? Yeah, I was going to say, the only ones that are good, I guess I haven't tried normal ass cola. I don't think I have. Maybe I did, and it was that disappointing. No, they were sold out. So the only ones I'd recommend, the Dr. Pepper one's okay, but a little bit strong, like a little bit too syrupy. So lay back on the syrup a bit on that. And the cherry cola one's fine. Everything else has been various levels of disappointing to nightmare. Not the least of which is, and I'm gonna post a fucking picture of this in the Discord so you assholes can see it.
Don't worry, I posted some Fago Moon Mist.
KZ, do you want me to try that for the next podcast? They have it at the store down the road.
Hell yeah, man.
I stare at it every time.
Yes, but also could you find the worst brand knockoff I've ever seen? Hee Haw.
No, I can't find Hee Haw.
I can't find it either. It's been, people wanted us to try it. So this is the organic blonde cola.
Blonde cola.
That
I'm
they
not
have.
including
What
any
the
of
fuck
these
is
just so the
blonde
audience
cola?
knows. But this looks so bad.
So the blonde cola, the whole idea is it's an organic Coke for your soda stream.
That sounds bad.
It is a nightmare.
Soda is like the least organic thing imaginable.
It is, but you can make certain things that are cola that, in essence anyways, that are organic, like ginger ale, right? You can make organic ginger ale. Fun fact, this is just somebody tried to make ginger ale into a normal cola, and it's disgusting. Let me read the ingredients. Our blonde cola is made from real cola nuts. Ginger.
Cola nut.
Lemons. Cinnamon. Spices. Rosemary and lavender.
What?
This next line, maybe do a double take because I thought I misread it because there's no way it's what it said, okay? Blonde, because we left all the nasty stuff out. What sort of Aryan cola company?
What?
Putting more of the good back in to create the apex of colas. This is an Aryan master race cola.
No, that's not C cola.
That's true. Just so you people don't think
we
I'm
talked about
fucking
not
lying.
C cola.
No.
Let me post this. There you go. It's the bottom fucking line before the bullets. Blonde because we left all the nasty stuff out. What the?
Here's not C cola, as in NOTSEE.
It's very clever.
Oh man, you can get a 12-pack on Amazon.
It's like Crystal Pepsi, except white nationalist.
Oh, okay, so it's bad in multiple different ways.
Oh yeah, no, I would never assume someone who made a thing cleverly sounding like that, but not named that, wasn't, gross.
Is the blonde cola like spicy almost?
No, it's not even that. It really genuinely tastes like super watered down ginger ale that you tried to make into a cola. It's so conflicted and bad.
I know what they want it to be because I bought this was shortly after I got my first job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna buy there's this artisanal cola that's $9 for a 4-pack of 12-ounce bottles. Comes in like a cardboard sleeve. No, it wasn't Cheerwine. It was a cola. And I'm like, I'm gonna get this. This is gonna fucking be incredible. Like super deluxe Coke. Like this burns. This is really bad.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
That I feel like that's what they want this to be.
But yeah, I haven't been this disappointed in a fucking soda since I had Moxie. You know, the oldest fucking soda in the States, where the whole ad was "Make mine Moxie." I was like, oh, that's cool. It probably has some, vintage ideas about what's good to stick in a cola. Turns out nothing. But yeah, this thing, this blonde cola, it isn't even syrupy. So you have to add a shitload whenever you make it. So it's the most expensive out of all of these, and I'm going to burn through it faster than any of the others. And I'm adding vanilla to it so it has a flavor. And that's my SodaStream review. Good if you're a junkie, but expect to lower your standards, and only 2 of them are good. But hey, it keeps you out of the gas station, so you stop buying energy drinks, you fucking junkie. I think we're ready to move on to games.
Yeah.
Field, did you eat anything weird?
No. Except fucking
okay.
McRib.
That's pretty weird.
Bob and I played Streets of Rage 4 on Friday's stream. This was my first time playing Streets of Rage 4. That game's really fucking good. Like, it mechanically feels so good to play, and the levels are really neat. Soundtrack's total banger. The art looks great. That game's really dope. It's definitely making my top 10 games of the year. We ran through that multiple times, and I'm still just like, I need to run through it a few more,
Yeah, I really want to go through it again. I feel really bad. We died at the final boss
So
on arcade
brutal.
mode. It was awful.
We did our second playthrough, and the arcade mode makes you do it on a single credit. We get all the way to the final boss, and the second to last boss chops a life off of both of us, and it's like, oh, this is bad. And we get there, and it's just fucking, ugh. And it was like, it wasn't even just the last boss, it was the last form of the last boss.
Yeah, down to maybe 5 hits. It was bad.
It was really bad. But yeah, no, that game's fucking incredible. I really like, I honestly like all the new designs. I like the new characters. I like the redesigns of the old characters. And I really like how you unlock the ability to play as the old sprites in this game. So you have Streets of Rage 1 art for, the characters from that, just walking through this incredible high-def game. It's really fun. Really great time. Glad I got to try that before we hit Game of the Year. There are a few more games I'm hitting up. I played Genshin Impact, and in the amount of time I've been playing that, I went, this isn't for me. So I'm gonna uninstall that sometime soon. But I hear I had a good first roll.
Cool.
Bob, did you play anything?
Of course.
Oh, okay. What'd you play?
I did. Steam had their limited edition demos.
Oh, fuck.
So I had to jump on some of those.
Oh, fuck. Whenever Bob finds those, he finds the worst gutter trash imaginable.
Oh, he just plays them all. That's the problem.
This time I only played 2. I only found 2 that really excited me. I was like, okay, there's not that much time. Because this had basically happened during the Game Awards.
Okay.
So I have not had much time to look into it, but it doesn't look like it's as many this time.
Not as big as the Summer of Gaming.
Yeah, not as big as that. We're not looking for a huge rundown here.
Okay. I will be right back. I gotta grab some creamer for this coffee, because man, this extra bold fucking Stoke is a weird taste.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
The first one I played is Anno Mutationum. I think that's how you say it.
Let me see. Yeah, okay, sure.
It's a cyberpunk open world RPG. No, it's not. Go back. No, not that. It's cyberpunk. And it's got 2D art. It's side scrolling when you're in combat, but in regular world traversal, you move in a 3D plane, but you're still a 2D character. And it feels like it has a lot of RPG elements where you're going around to collecting stuff, leveling up your character and whatnot, and talking to a lot of different NPCs. It's got a really cool style to it where it has 3D backgrounds and 2D characters walking around on top of it. It's really neat looking. I definitely just checking it out. It's shown up at a few of the Summer Game Fest and stuff, so it's neat to be able to play it. Exploring the world and stuff is neat. The combat seems really basic. I am assuming it's not nowhere near ready to fully show yet. because there's not a ton you can do in combat at all. Like you have a dodge button, you have a 3-hit attack, and you have a jump, but that's really about it. It feels kind of clunky too. Like you can't dodge out of your attacks, and you can't use the D-pad to move your character in a 2D game. Which I
need that. You have a stick.
So I tweeted about this. I tagged the developer, and they actually said taking notes.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, okay,
that's good.
I like seeing actual.
I had a fucking
feedback.
They're like,
seizure.
it'll work for 8 directions. Don't worry, we'll get it working.
I had a fucking seizure playing goddamn Genshin Impact, trying to use the menus with the D-pad. Nothing's happening. I'm like, my brain's broken. I have no idea why this game isn't working.
That's the worst part of Genshin Impact to me. Using the analog stick and menus is like, what is wrong with your head?
Yeah, when I came back to that, I'm like, I'm confused. I don't even know what any of these icons do.
But yeah, Ano's got a really nice art style, and there might be other things that are good about it for like exploration stuff. It's just the combat feels like it's not there yet. So hopefully they smooth that out. It opens on a super weird way where it does first person with the 2D characters. So your hand's 2D as you're laying on the ground, and you look up and the hand tracks really strangely.
Oh, cool.
It's interesting. And the other game I played, Graven, which is touted as the Hexen/Heretic spiritual successor. It's got graphics that are kind of in the style of an old Unreal Engine game from like the early days, like Unreal 1.
Okay.
So it's kind of like heavily pixelated.
I was about to get real snooty and go, Unreal or Quake Engine, Bob? It's okay. Don't worry about it.
They said Unreal. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. It turns out it looks like Duke Nukem Forever, and I have a seizure.
No, that's Build Engine. So I don't know. Anyone else here have experience with Heretic Hexen?
In the year 1997, I did.
I played it once for an hour.
Yes, okay.
I thought it was. I thought it was cool. I'd like them to bring it back.
I can pretend I have experience if you want.
What would you say is the main defining feature of a Hexen Heretic?
It has magic and shit.
Right.
It's Doom, but you're a wizard.
Yeah,
Right.
it's very D&D. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No
so
way.
They made
not
the
about
spells useless for fighting enemies.
Move down into the dirt.
Yeah, like you screwed up at the most basic level. Like honestly, the level design stuff was fine. I liked it. It has a nice little like. It almost feels like you're doing quests in a larger area, in a Doom style game. But no, you don't. Your magic is useless, basically. Like, oh, it's for puzzle solving. Like, oh, I can light stuff on fire to open paths, and I can light barrels on fire to blow them up. And then you get electricity, and it's like, okay, the electricity, you can use it to kind of hold guys in place. Like, you shock them, and then they're stuck there sparking. But if you keep spamming at them, they don't die. Like, it does so little damage, you really need to go hit them with your club.
Oh.
It's terrible. I have no idea what their idea was here. It seems crazy. Like, I think that the medieval setting of Hexen is secondary to the fact that you're using magic. But they've just gone all in on, oh, well, you get different swords and different bow guns and all this. And it's like, I don't care about swords, bows, shields, all that. I want my magic to be my form of attack.
I want a magic missile.
Yes. He wants to cast magic missile at the darkness. That is correct. Bob, I've only played Hexen, I realized. I've never played Heretic. Hexen's like the sequel?
Yeah.
Do you think Heretic didn't have magic?
No, I played both.
Okay, I was curious because I've never even seen Heretic. I realized once I said that, I was like, no, I think I'm thinking of Hexen every single time.
It's super weird too. Like at the beginning of the game, that you get a club immediately.
Because you're a caveman.
I guess. In the trailer for the game, you should see that same cutscene, but they hand you a club that was a glowing end, like it's a wizard stick where you could shoot it.
A staff, even.
Yeah, a staff. It's in what I got to play. I didn't get that. I got this club.
Oh.
So it's really weird. I have no idea what they were thinking. Honestly, this is crazy.
Maybe in the full game, magic will scale up so heavily then it'll become ridiculously overpowered at some point.
Right, but even if there shouldn't be a like easing into it with this. There really shouldn't. Also, magic seems super limited because just like you have a red and blue magic meter, and they burn so quick while using these spells to hardly do damage.
See, this is just me, but that's how I remember Hexen being. But once again, haven't played it more than like an hour in whatever 1997 or whatever that was.
A couple years ago.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a few. Yeah, so I still want it to be good. Hopefully things change. I don't know. Let's see what else do they play.
While you figure that out, hey KZ,
Yeah.
want to know what the developer of Heretic is doing in the modern game dev landscape?
Oh no, what?
Of course I do, Dan. This sounds horrible.
They're making multiplayer maps for Call of Duty. It's Raven Software.
Yeah.
The Kings.
That's wonderful
Let them make
news.
something, Activision.
No.
They are. They're making maps.
Oh no! The people who mostly made Hexen left informed Human Head, which also got killed.
Oh no! God.
What you been playing?
I also played Oni Chambara Origins.
Oh my God. I forgot we haven't had big things since you spent, what was it, 3 hours beating that entire game?
Yeah, something between
Ooh.
3 and 4.5, somewhere in that range.
You're very thorough.
It's a
Does it have 780 mechanics?
It's a $60 game, and it was 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, it still has a ton of mechanics like the last one, but it's insanely short.
Isn't it a remake of like a $20 Wii game? I guess that makes sense.
It's a remake of two $20 PS2 games.
Yeah, PS.
Like they're supposed to be bolted together, but I assumed that they'd expand things, make it into something worthy of $60.
No, Bob, you remember when you played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and since it was just Midgar, it was 5 hours long?
Yes.
Man, those squeeze throughs were 40 seconds each.
Yeah, it was most of the game.
We devoted 30 seconds to ghosts spinning.
Yeah. So other than being short, I had fun with it. It has lots of cool like attack timing elements, parrying, dodging, perfect dodging, that sort of stuff. Lots of neat action game things. It's really basic, but it's still fun. And then it ended really quick. And also, this game only has 2 playable characters for your first time shoot. Apparently, there's a third one that can be unlocked, but she has no story. So I haven't even unlocked her yet. I think you need to do like something insane, like the survival, get to a level 100 on survival mode or something crazy.
There's 3 characters, 3 hours. That's 9 hours of content. Boom. Nailed it.
You play as the 2 characters at once.
I'll see myself out.
In the last game, you could switch between 4 characters at once, which definitely added a lot more variety, which was appreciated.
I gotta say, I was really fucking bummed out when I looked over after you'd barely started the game and I saw credits.
Yeah, no, it was really sad. I was like,
Because it seemed like really cool.
yeah, I really like the art style went for. They have like a cel-shaded look to it this time. They actually got a dub. They got a ton of voice acting. Like
And
in
they
stage,
ran out of money.
and then it just ended. I'm like, oh my God.
The last one was also dubbed.
Yes. Wait, was it?
I don't think so.
Z2 Chaos was.
Was it?
I remember because I booted it up and Junko from Danganronpa was screaming at me.
Okay. I guess it's just been long enough that I forgot. But yeah, it's even crazier that this one was full price and that one I believe was 40 at launch and longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad. I can't recommend it. Maybe once it gets down to $20, go buy it. It even has this thing where it's like bonus missions. Pearl Life. You click on it. It's a survival mode that's like endless waves of enemies. Not
cool.
missions. It's one.
I'd laugh if they have a season pass.
They do.
Oh my.
I'm not sure. I think they call it a season pass. Pretty sure. It's just a bunch of costumes. And
Of course.
I'm pretty sure one of those things is an early unlock for the third character, which I might break down and buy because I want to play as her, but I don't want
Man,
to deal
that's
with
a
it.
real strong clown nose.
Yeah, no, I need to get my shoes on.
At that point,
Hey, Everybody has their own reason for getting in that tiny car. Yours happens to be this.
At that point, the clown knows if you get like a fucking device that measures radiation anywhere near it, it goes insane.
Yeah, so I'm sad. We also played
That'll be in your top 10, right?
It really could have been if it was a full-length game. We also played River City Girls on stream.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have played that right after Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, that was really cruel to it. Like,
Yeah,
oh man,
that's-
coming from this where everything's optimized in a perfect way to River City Girls, where there's lots of kind of clunky things.
Yeah,
Not great.
Yeah, that game seems really neat. I'm gonna give it some space from Streets of Rage 4 and go back to it a couple months from now.
Yeah, I think that's
because there's a lot of things to enjoy about it.
The art's beautiful.
Yes,
Don't worry, it will return. They promised.
they did.
They did.
That's
We
true.
have nothing else to say. They just promised.
And we also played Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, Dan.
Yes, I was waiting to bring that up. So we played Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. We barely played any of it, but for people who don't know, they added a new multiplayer mode called Skill Battle Mode, where you get to create a team of the diverse cast in this game from both the Puyo side and the Tetris side, and they have abilities or spells they can cast that have various different effects on the battlefield. You have an MP bar, you have stats, you have a health bar. And you can either raise someone to the top of the screen and do a massive amount of damage that way, or you could just do direct, like, damage to their health, like, through doing such powerful combos. It's really interesting. Unfortunately, you do not level your characters from playing each other in that mode, so I need to find out what normal mode of that game you level up your characters through. Aside from that, I don't really have a whole lot to say other than the activity cards should have absolutely, I've seen Mortal Kombat and Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 both make this mistake, have one activity card for single console versus. Just an activity card to play with a guy sitting right fucking next to you. I understand why you put so many in the online. I get it. A lot of people only do online, but for the love of God, just put one for single console multiplayer. Aside from that, I don't have anything to say other than, man, the Puyo community's fucking pissed over the giant buff Tetris got. They are fuming pissed. We're talking open letters to the developers level of pissed.
One.
Apparently being disastrously powerful is really easy in that game as a Tetris player. Fantastic. Absolutely hilarious. Wonder if they'll fucking fix it. But I don't expect it. Either way, Puyo fans more now than ever are screaming, why won't you just give us a Puyo game without the Tetris?
Because they want it to sell.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's
Because your
true.
game is an impenetrable nightmare only quantum computers can excel at.
Correct.
I genuinely want them to do a modern port of Puyo Quest, which was an RPG in Puyo Puyo. Really dope.
Came out on the Super Nintendo?
No, it was on the 3DS after the Switch was out.
There was some Puyo Puyo.
I mean, there are
RPG
shitloads. If you're
earlier.
talking about Mado Monogatari, which aren't Puyo based, but it is in the Puyo universe.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There are so many of those.
I remember
Those are
playing
dope.
some
Those
kind
are
of translation
really fucking
patch.
cool. Yes, those are incredible.
I remember beating up Satan in one.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Woo. Yeah, Puyo stuff in the Puyo universe was having to play Puyo Puyo is excellent.
Yeah,
That's a great thing. They should think about doing more of.
Sega needs to figure out a way to, make things better with oh shit, what's the name of the company, Bob?
Compile?
Yeah, Compile. I was like, not Concept. One moment, Anyways, they need to make things better with Compile. Start making some more Mado Monogatari stuff because Sega owns Puyo as an IP, has rights to the characters, but doesn't own Mado Monogatari. It's very complicated. Yeah, they need to make stuff better with them, make those, and while they're at it, make a new Tales Adventure. I think that would be very smart.
No bias here.
No, I'm just saying, like, think about it. How many times did they bang their head against the "we want to make a good Sonic game, but we can't" wall, and they didn't try to make a spin-off featuring any other characters since Shadow?
Yeah, it's really insane.
That's because every single bit of feedback they've gotten for 15 years has been every character but Sonic is gay, don't have them in anything.
Yeah, but I feel like when the guy looks like the Chad meme, you should maybe filter the feedback through an understanding of where it's coming from. Because I feel like you could make a great Tails game or a great Knuckles game. Like, you could make great games based on just those characters.
You really could. It's just only Shadow couldn't. That was impossible for because, oh god, Shadow.
Because he's Sonic with a gun.
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know. I think that could be delightful if they did it right.
You'd be like, this is great. What a piece of shit. That is literally how you act.
Thumbs up.
Yes. And I'd be like, everyone buy it. It's terrible.
You play Sonic 06, and then you get to the part where they're like, okay, Shadow, get in the ATV and start driving in this fucking Shadow Moses-ass base. And I'm like, man, what a good video.
Here's how you make a Shadow spinoff. You give him a really, really Hot Topic-esque jacket that he only wears in this game. He doesn't wear it in any of the other games ever. And 2, you bring the energy he had in Sonic 06 where he's like, I'm gonna remove my limiters I never mentioned before and go Super Saiyan. Just have that energy for the whole game.
That was that might be the funniest thing in that game, is that he just drops those rings and he just starts nuking thousands of enemies at once.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah, he drops his limiters and starts beating the shit out of like the Elder God-esque antagonist.
Yeah,
they're like, here's the main villain that looks like another hedgehog, and he's like, I've cloned myself to be 10,000, and then he's like, guess I got to do this, and just starts dropping his wrist guards.
And then it cuts to him like skating, surrounded by like a huge energy R that is just eviscerating hundreds of them.
And it just fades out because that's like the final 10 seconds of his story.
Of course, it's the peak.
God,
it is.
I think the final boss of Sonic 06 is all 3 of the hedgehogs in super mode fighting a being outside of reality.
Yes.
God, they need to make a real Sonic game again, not this horse of shit. They need to make a game where you're just baffled by where the story is.
I honestly was like 3 hedgehogs. I remembered Silver exists.
Yeah.
Silver's great. The only character explicitly based on a Dragon Ball character.
Oh my god. So anyway, that's all I had to say about Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 and Sega. Hey Bob, did you play anything else?
No, the only other thing I played was Mortal Kombat, which you all played.
Yes, that's true. That next gen upgrade's good.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't think Phil played it.
I didn't. I passed out because it was already 2 a.m.
But
yeah,
man,
this thing's unhinged. It's 86.5 gigs. It is the biggest thing on my console at the moment.
It and Call of Duty compete on mine. They're just like neck and neck, and Call of Duty keeps getting these buffs.
I had
patches.
to check because I still have I still have 7 Remake on here, and this beats it by 500 megs.
I had 3 games that were all about the same size as Mortal Kombat and Call of Duty, and I realized these 3 games alone took up over half my hard drive space. And I was like, no.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's bad. It's real bad.
I think the biggest size on thing on mine is right now is I'm not counting Mortal Kombat because that's the biggest thing on it. But the biggest thing other than that I think is Crash 4 because that's like 50.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's 40 or 50 if I remember correctly. But yeah, Mortal Kombat loads insanely fast. It looks unreal. It's been pretty fun checking that game out, and man, those goes
game, and it might be one of the best looking games on PS5 right now.
Yes. Yeah, I think two of the games I didn't expect to look the best, but ended up looking the best on the PS5 right now is Call of Duty and Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Real fucking weird. But yeah, no, it loads super fast. Looks exceptional. Like, it's nuts how good it looks. And man, those guys' characters are so good. I'm looking forward to playing some more Mortal Kombat.
God, we played like 4 hours of that. I I had not seen most of the new characters they added, so I lost my mind at all the presentation they gave Spawn.
Oh yeah, Spawn's unreal.
He has what I think is the best win and intro animation in any fighting game. It looks so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's so fucking dope. It like KZ's right. It probably is the coolest intro and victory animation in any fighting game ever. And I'm like, NetherRealm, please just give me a Spawn game. This guy looks so good in your game, please.
Just looking at that on this TV, I'm like, nothing has looked this good on this TV.
Yeah, no, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I had a good time. I had a good time mashing things and figuring out what the hell I was doing.
great.
Sometimes Bob would find where the projectile was, and I went, well, I guess this is over now.
Yeah, having a hold a button to block is confusing.
Oh yeah, I didn't learn at all. Never. Like, what do you mean I have to hold R2?
I was actually a pretty big fan of Mortal Kombat when it first came out. I was never a huge fan of 3, so when I found out much later in life that that's how most people felt, I felt a little vindicated. I did like some of the characters from 3, though, so, you know, Cyrax and etc. But yeah, so I've never had a mental block against holding a button to block. It is a very strange thing, because it's like the only fighting game that does that, right?
I mean, I could deal with it in like Soul Calibur because there's something about it's a 3D fighting game.
Yeah, and it's
there's a lot of different
weapons-based
things.
combat in that. That's a little different.
Yeah.
You know, you're always holding your weapon. You don't. It's a little different to think I need to block with my weapon than I need to hold a button to hold my fist correctly to block.
Yeah.
Like, you just have me in a corner. I'm like, I'm holding back. Is this a low? Is this a low? Is this why this is fucking happening
He's
to me
pounding
right
my
now?
face in. Is that low somehow? the Rambo shit in this game is real good.
yes.
Jesus. Yeah.
I really like the one where it's like you shoot out like an explosive with RoboCop for his like X-ray attack fatal blow, and it knocks you across the screen, and the giant robot appears.
Yes,
and
the
just
Ed
starts
209.
shooting you.
It's so good.
What was the Rambo where he has a move where he can just lay on the ground and like crawl?
Yeah, crawl while prone. Yeah.
The whole thing is he's he's trying to stab your like your
He's going to
chin.
slit your Achilles tendon, right?
Yeah, it's really messed up and funny.
I liked playing as Melina and doing my grab. The grab is just biting into your neck. And
I'm not okay with that.
I like that because the entire other side of the call at his I was like, stop it.
Yeah, no, it's fucking gross and weird and terrible, and I can't deal with the fact they're Melina stance.
They again, they're the Geno fans of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, if Gino was fucking weird and like they were into something fucking weird about him.
Yeah, Gino is into like a weird fetish, whereas Melina very much is.
No, see, if I go, that means they're wrong. They're not wrong.
I was trying to imagine how it would become sexual, and I couldn't.
I tried, and I tried, and I found angles, but I've never seen them applied to Gino.
But yeah, no, looking forward to playing more Mortal Kombat. I've actually never gone through the single player of 11, so I'm going to be doing that at some point.
I went to the bonus single player mode that came out in summer.
Oh, the Aftermath?
Yeah, the Aftermath.
Okay.
It was about as long as Oni Chambara Origins.
Fucking come on, shit!
and that was that's a DLC story thing, and it's like on par with the $60 game.
Yeah.
Actually, Bob, how much did you get after the whole package for?
The whole package it's $60 technically, but I had like $50 of coupons for GameStop, so it was $10. So yeah, that was pretty good. I really enjoyed the extra stuff they did. Shang Tsung being back is the movie. Shang Tsung is amazing.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm. He's still good.
Yeah.
They went above and beyond with his intros and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just the fact that his win animation is the "Your soul is mine" as he points at the camera.
His intro with Shao Kahn is really good because Shao Kahn's like, "You failed me too much," and the voice actor expresses more contempt than I have ever heard a human being express. He goes, "In 1,000 years, I failed you twice."
That's good.
And Shao Kahn just like is owned and just screams.
That's really good.
Yeah, so definitely check that out if you like Mortal Kombat. That's some good Mortal Kombat there.
I mean, Mortal Kombat fans are lucky. Most fighting games fans, most fans of gaming don't get fed as well as they're getting with this.
Yeah, no, it's kind of ridiculous.
But hey KZ, what else did you play?
I played Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh no!
I think I'm gonna wait.
wait.
I'm glad I decided to wait until the PS5 version.
You know, I heard this was like the most hyped game of the entire last generation. This oof and ahs that I'm getting here is a little weird.
It's almost like that they shouldn't have even released it on PS4.
Well, I'm playing it on a PS5 now. As I told you before, Mortal Kombat 11 is the largest game on my console. I would also like to point out that I bought Cyberpunk digitally, and it is bigger than Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh,
Of course.
It is like over 100 gigs.
Of course.
whoa!
Yeah, it is.
Of course it is.
It is a massive. It is a massive boy.
I figured with the downgrades and everything that for the PS4 version, it wouldn't be that big.
But see, here's the thing. The downgrades aren't that much downgrades that would save you space, and there's a lot of data duplication because it's the PS4
That's
version
true. There's
of
a
the
ton of
game.
data
Did either of you?
duplication,
Did either of you guys buy it physically?
nobody else bought it.
Yeah. Do you think we
Oh, I bought it.
Oh,
What?
I bought it.
I'm
It
sorry.
comes on 2 Blu-rays.
You're the one who pluralized, though. Like, of course, me and Bob didn't buy it.
Yeah, I
No,
did
but
the.
I wanted to know if anybody else knew that it comes on 2 Blu-ray discs.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Final Fantasy 7.
We had a conversation about this like a week and a half ago.
It's just with the way that every texture looks so bad. I figured that might have saved them space. My bad.
Yeah,
I
picked it up a day before, and they're like, "Would you like to preload? This is like 104 gigs." And I went, "Oh, I got to delete like 4 things."
Yeah.
And I did. I started it up, and they make you create your character, and I immediately went, ugh, a little bit, like looking at the faces, and like it just felt off a little bit. But I started making a guy, and then they make you like pick your path because you have a different starting story thing, depending on like what you're interested in. So I picked Nomad, which is one where you are outside of Night City at the start, and the opening sequence is like you need to get your car repaired. So you're like talking with a mechanic about it, and you're like, I'll do it myself. And you're like, he pulls out stuff out of the car, like wires and stuff. And this was the first moment that I had playing this, where he pulls it out, and it's supposed to be like 3 wires and like a little like a electrical box or something. I don't know. I don't know cars.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls it out and lifts it. You know what's under it? The exact same thing. It's like he pulled it out, and then the exact same thing was just like in there. So it was like a fucking one of those Russian dolls. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be nothing there after I pull it out. That seems a little weird. I looked at my character, and it looks so ugly. It's got Final Fantasy 15 hair, and everything looks like they fell into petroleum jelly. Then I got into my car and drove a little bit. The frame rate seemed fine. It felt like it was hitting 60 from my experience. And I played out a few missions in it, and yeah, this game just looks aggressively ugly everywhere.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, is this 1080p? And upon looking at Digital Foundry, it's like 1169p or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Which makes it so that it runs better than the Xbox One, because it's shooting for higher resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I played out a few missions, and it seemed interesting enough. I wasn't vibing with it a lot, but the stuff that they had so far I thought was interesting enough. Like the gunplay seems acceptable. and they got some like hacking stuff, so you can like hack into a camera to see into a room, and then you can like move around through there. And I'm like, I played Watch Dogs, which also has that type of thing in there.
I was
like the
say,
voice acting and performances were okay.
They had that feature where they play back the memory of somebody who was dying. Like and all I could think of was Remember Me, because they had that exact sort of, we're reconstructing the scene and you need to find out what's wrong sort of idea in that. Have you done any of that in the game yet?
I think I was about to hit something like that. Like, I'm pretty sure I was about to hit the first thing that's going to cause you a seizure, and I just decided to like stop at that point.
I feel
maybe I won't risk this.
I feel really bad, audience. I feel really bad. They should have just put an epilepsy warning and kept it in. Like I totally understand, but here's the thing: I don't get enough cool flashing lights and things.
Yeah, because like they put out that thing where it was like, we have it in the EULA, but I guess we'll put something in the front of the game now to let you guys know.
No shit. Of course you should fucking front load your game that's about flashing colored lights that, hey, this may cause epilepsy.
I'm like, come on, Devil May Cry 4 did that. You should do that. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Real quick note, because I'm not going to be able to state this opinion anywhere else. I think we should have epilepsy protection measures built into TVs, because we have the technology to do that, and I don't know why we aren't. Because, man, as much as warnings really help, someone could just not see the warning.
Or not know that they have such an affliction.
That's true, but then you're saying everyone should turn it on by default. But anyway, yeah, I think we should probably figure out some way to do that through TV processing. I mean, they could do amazing things like turn a 24 frames per second anime into garbage. 120 frames per second.
Nice.
Sometimes I get nostalgic or want to watch an old series that I enjoyed, and then I jot it down into YouTube because I want to see the cool clip in it. And every time it's 60 FPS, and I'm like, "Come on, man! What are you doing?"
I was back to his modes on my TV, and I was like, "Okay, what did this one do?" Oh no! Now it's super smooth and disgusting.
It's like every time that happens, it's just someone with a username which is just that character or that show with X's in the front and the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's at 60 FPS. Sometimes they have like a weird font on some of the stuff in the title.
Yeah, XX.
They found some way to put ads in it.
XX _fanatic XX.
Okay, that did happen to me once where I was looking up a clip of Yu Yu Hakusho and it was in fact in 60 FPS.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
Even worse, weren't using the Blu-ray version, so it was like bad 480p 60 FPS.
Yeah,
so I don't know how we got here.
It was really bad. So Cyberpunk's treating you well?
I think it's okay so far. The story wasn't really grabbing me. Maybe it's just because I wasn't interested in the path I picked. Maybe I'll pick the one, because the other ones are like street guy or guy who serves corporations. So maybe I'll try one of those. Maybe I'll pick one of those. But overall, the gameplay just seems acceptable. RPG wise, I feel like it's going to fall short of what I would have wanted, because it seems to mostly just be a lot of gun DPS stuff. The hacking does more damage or does better. There didn't seem to be a lot of like RPG mechanics that didn't involve you shooting. So I was like, I don't know necessarily how much I'll be into that, but I'll see. I'm gonna wait until the upgrade though, because this looks so aggressively ugly that if I was to like make a list of things I played on PS5, this might be. Those screenshots you showed of Yakuza 7 look better than this visually.
I saw once I actually sat down and like looked at the even on next gen versions of these games versus how it looks on like a PC. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till that upgrade.
Like, honestly, I'm looking through everything that I've recently downloaded. That is the ugliest game I played on a PS5.
Well, yeah, it's not supposed to be on the PS4, and it's the PS4 version.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I think of things I played Immortals that looks perfectly fine, and several other last gen games. I even booted up Sekiro.
They should have delayed the game till March and just killed the last gen version.
Yeah, they never should have announced the last gen versions. It's real bad.
And except they announced the game 9 years ago, so it's insane.
Excuse you, 8 years ago. But yeah, it looks rough in a way that I have to wonder how good the actual next gen version will even look.
The PC version looks fucking immaculate. I knew the last
there's
gen
no
version
reason
was
the
going to be rough.
PC version won't be good.
And like,
I mean, the PS5 version won't be good.
Like, the last gen version looks rough. I knew that, of course. And of course, there is no current gen version. But when I saw a fucking image comparison between the last gen version and PC, I felt sucker punched. It's unreal. That doesn't look like a generational leap. That looks beyond that. The PC version's lighting and everything else is so intensely good. This isn't even just me. Later on, I started watching the Digital Foundry Cyberpunk videos, and you hear John Linneman in the console roundup one just talking about the sense of immersion and everything else I got in the PC version is completely lacking in all of these. Like, it just doesn't. There are no crowds. The lighting is nowhere near as good.
It's insane, KZ. I watched videos.
Now
of it
that we're on
PC.
the subject of the Digital Foundry thing, I watched the beginning of the console one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we're going to take a look at how each of these run on PS5, Xbox Series X, and of course, the quirks of the Xbox Series S. And then I hear Richard go, after he says Series S, just like, yeah, we sure have to fucking talk about that, don't we?
How long do we have to keep up this farce?
Yeah, he told a story. Actually, Richard tells a story. I think it's about halfway in that video. About a friend of his who didn't want to deal with how rough it was last gen, so he bought a Series S because it could lock 30.
Oh.
Oh, no!
Richard has a friend who bought a Series S just to play Cyberpunk locked at 30.
Oh.
I was like, wow. I couldn't make that choice myself. I've never been the person who's like, I want this one game enough where I'm buying a whole system for it right now. But you know me, I usually preventatively I buy consoles before the games show up, so I've never had to.
You're right. And then the thought that I need to upgrade to get a subpar experience is really strange.
It's a rock solid.
That's
somewhere
delusional.
I actually haven't seen that part of the footage. I was listening, but it's a rock solid 30, which you can't even remotely get last gen apparently.
Of course not.
Yeah, I was hoping that I'd want to binge this, but the way it looks and that it didn't immediately grab me, I'll just wait, because I had every intent on really hammering hard on this, but it kind of just fell flat.
And guys, listeners, you have no idea. Part of the reason we were excited about our tradition of having Game of the Year in January is we could have Cyberpunk 2077 on our Game of the Year list. We were very smug about that. And then 2 days before the game came out, I found out how rough all the versions were. I was like, oh, that's a damn shame.
Yeah, I'd like to play this game and enjoy it. So I'm really waiting for the next gen updates.
Exactly.
And then people came out and said, yeah, I got the copy early. This patch makes it feel like a completely different game. And I'm like, excuse me?
What?
Is there... How low was the bar?
Jesus. Fucking floor.
But that's everything I played.
Oh, okay. Cool. Hey, Phil, what you been playing?
I know Life Yakuza's Like a Dragon.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good. The RPG mechanics are rough. Like, the fact this is the first turn-based RPG the devs ever made is apparent. Other than that, it's really good. I think all the writing and side quests and everything are some of the strongest it's ever been. I also think insanely, despite the fact that the protagonist Ichiban constantly has these delusions of like things being big RPG castles, that it's the most grounded story in the franchise, probably, which is a little bit insane. Also, there's a character named Mirror Face, so that was funny.
Saw someone in the Gigaboots Discord go, what the fuck do you mean Cromdo Face is a character in a video game?
Well, now we have Mirror Face. I switched back and forth between the dub a bunch of times. A really good dub all throughout, except for the stuff I mentioned last time where stuff just isn't dubbed arbitrarily. Matthew Mercer is Majima, and he might be the only human being I've ever heard who can do the exact same laugh that sounds like a dog is dying.
Yeah, it is exactly like that.
So here's my warning if you play that game. In Chapter 12, you will be forced, as part of the story, to get a location where the characters will all stand around base, and they will almost verbatim say, "This seems like it'd be a really good place to grind." The level of everything you're fighting is about to jump 17 levels.
I'm imagining they're just literal hobos wearing metal slime outfits.
Oh,
that's in the game.
tinfoil.
That's in the game.
Tinfoil. There we go. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. They're not literally metal slimes, but there is a metal slime type enemy.
Good.
What the fuck do they look like? I only encountered them once because I'm like, this is bad. Like the place they show up is bad. It's like a guy in a Jesus outfit, but you can see his briefs through it because he's just a hobo.
Okay.
I've seen those dudes that are just all you can see is like their legs and their head popping out, and the rest of them is a trash can or a trash
those
bag.
are pretty good. There's a lot of really good enemies in this, and all the localized names are really fantastic because they're all really shitty puns. Like one of the early enemies is just a drunk guy who has like a rolled up newspaper and a trash can lid as his shield, and their names are like Beer Zerker. And everything has a name like that. It's pretty good. There's a lot of really funny parts in this game. It's a very, very funny game. It's a lot more comedic than the previous ones, I feel. There's a lot of stuff like a character leaves your party and comes back for a while, and Ichiban goes, "So you're stronger now, right?" I was like, "What?" Like, well, I mean, whenever a character leaves your party and then comes back and you're stronger, they're stronger. And he's like, "Well, actually, yes, I am." And he has like a really good new move. But yeah, it's rough, especially since like you fight on the map and all your party is always following you, but they're not the pathing needs work. Because it'll be like, oh, I started a fight, but my entire party is 4 blocks away, so when they attack, they just suddenly teleport to where I am.
Oh, I thought it would just be this super awkward, here's them running.
You get that until it's their turn.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff like there's that huge jump in levels. There's the fact that the equipment system is kind of bad. Like you have to do very particular things to get good equipment. Like you can't upgrade most of the equipment, but upgrading the equipment is like a big menu option you can see early on, but only very few things can actually be upgraded. So you'll find a really cool weapon and be like, oh, I wonder if I can upgrade it. No, you can upgrade like the starter weapon of each person and one other thing.
Weird.
There's also the class system is mostly pointless. More than half the characters, their best class is their unique class they started. And like the way the game's built, you don't want to switch classes because like most of your stats are tied to your class level. So if you change classes, your stats plummet.
Yeah, that's rough.
You do get to keep abilities you get from the class, and there's some permanent stat bonuses that you get from the class, but it just feels like it's there if you're an insane person and want to just grind forever here.
Oh, hello. Hey, that's
Hello there.
Because even the optional stuff, except for the post-game dungeon, nothing needs you to do that. But I still really enjoyed it. Everything about it was pretty great, except visuals. I would recommend everybody wait until the next gen version comes out if you have a next gen console.
Yeah, it's a real shame seeing that. What was it? The PS5's running it at 1440p locked 30. Yeah,
feels lower res than 1440p.
Or no, yeah, it's 1080. Sorry, I got that wrong.
It honestly seems like they nerfed the PS4 version for the sake of Xbox, Because I don't see
mean-
any reason that the PS4 Pro couldn't target 1440p, and then the PS5 can just do it.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a Digital Foundry video on this. They've just been running circles around Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs, I think, this whole time, unfortunately. I guess
Yeah,
they did
but
some
it
COD
was,
analysis. That was fine.
I was watching because we had put it in the news at one point because they were doing the Yakuza anniversary stream this week, and I was like, I'm interested in what they'll say over there because I was up in the morning at the time, so I just put it off to the side while I do actual things because it's a Japanese live stream, the enemy of all mankind, where they're laughing at literally anything.
Yeah.
And there's like 7 people there. You question why some of them are there. And they went, we're going to spend 2.5 hours talking about every single Yakuza game by year. And then they finally hit the current one. They're like, we made that. Now we need to talk about the future. We're updating Yakuza Online. And they were like, here's our big news. In March, you'll be able to play the PS5 version of Yakuza 7. And then they're like, we're making another one, by the way, which we told you in September. Bye.
I have a feeling that PS5 version is just going to humiliate the Series X version.
I don't know about humiliating, but it's...
I think they're going to upgrade a lot of assets that weren't upgraded for the Series X version.
That's entirely possible. I think the situation is bad enough when Microsoft spent a whole year talking about how their box is the most powerful, because every time a comparison comes out where the PS5 is more powerful, more performant, you see people light up like Christmas trees over how insane that is. And it's like, yep. I mean, I owned a 1X, guys. Like,
It wasn't that impressive.
PS4 Pro ran Resident Evil 3 at launch better than it. Like, it was a lower resolution, but it ran it drastically better. So it's not surprising that 2 pieces of hardware really close in performance, unlike those two, could easily end up with the thing that said it was going to be the most powerful console ever not running it better. So yeah, if the PS5 version gets specific bespoke updates and enhancements, then, you know, it's of course going to make the fucking Series X version look rough.
Roke.
Actually, it's pronounced bespoke.
Oh, finally.
I hit the intro. You know what? I wasn't going to mention this. I hit the intro to Genshin Impact. They say bespoke almost immediately, and I go, did we have that conversation before or after that?
Before. We had it before. Because it was,
Okay.
it was around the time we did the
Ghost of Tsushima spoiler cast. Yeah.
Cast. And me and Casey were like, we're both illiterate. Oh. Let me explain.
It was one of those things where it's like Casey repeats the same joke, and I'm like, Dan says bespoke 85 times in 30 minutes. Everybody has their moments, okay?
It's unfortunate that it was really apt for describing my problems with that game. But yeah, I hit it in the first few minutes of that game, and I was like, this is really funny. I'm pretty sure Genshin came out after that. Anyway, did you have any other games you wanted to talk about, Phil?
No, but I have one last important thing to say about Baki. There's an entire enemy class that is just a villain from Baki. There's just an entire enemy class in Yakuza 7 that is the serial killer Dorian from Baki. And even his description is just the backstory of the character from Baki.
This is rough. I can't escape hearing him say Baki.
I know.
Never.
Anytime we meet.
That's right.
Here, I'll even put it in the...
God damn it, of course you will.
It's like I literally can't get out.
Well, I think that's everything we've been playing, so I guess it's time we talk about the Pod Lords.
Ah!
There you go. The Pod Lords.
Pod Lord.
Yes, that's right. It's the fucking Pod Lords. Pod Lords such as Danny Richardson, Ely Broyle, third birthday one, Corey Brown, Red Blaze 27, licensed driver Juice Frost,
Hello.
Suzu Shiro, Emperor Zero, Shibuya Gato, more like she's gonna be disappointed on Monday knowing Sora isn't in Smash.
No, it's okay. There's a good trade.
This shit still is giving me nightmares.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no.
It's a
really
biblical
good.
angel.
Matty Mo forgot who the speaker was and had a heart attack.
Okay, that's fucked up that I missed out on that for not being here. Listening to you describe the Destiny 2 main story, I was dying because I'm like, I forgot that was the plot.
I don't know what this is.
Fat Man is just Die Hard, but inverted. I actually agree with that, yeah. A bad guy breaks into a facility full of a bunch of good guys. You're not alone, Dan. My Series G broke, so now I have to put him in a box and send him back to Microsoft, too.
Oh, wow.
Man,
I want to imagine them opening that up.
Yes, they open a box and get Gary Busey as an Xbox today.
Oh,
Take a shit in your Gary.
The only one who can bring the Series X to its knees.
Yes.
That's right.
You fit in there very well, Dan.
I do. It's fantastic. I like that it cuts off at my mustache. That just has a certain effect on it.
You see, that's really good. You got your porn stash there. You're pogging, but no one can see it.
No one can. No, they'll never know. WTF Spider-Man. Mr. I like spam.
So do I.
Better spam than SC Grosser
I like
spam.
when Dixie meat.
Modern W. Hashire Soryo Kaze no Yoni. Tsukima ni hara wo padoru.
Good job, guys. Look what you made him do.
DFW 3K. Xbox shipped me a broke box named Xbox, so I shipped Xbox a broke box named Xbox so they could ship me a box named Xbox.
By the seashore.
Dan, please. Your Xbox Series X died in a shipping accident last year. It wasn't your fault.
These are all really good ones from last week. I love these.
They have good staying power because guess what? I got a notification. It said, hey, we received it. Don't worry, we'll ship it back soon. And I'm like, you better not. This better be an automated message. If you just ship me back that same fucking box, it's not going to fix anything.
Don't worry, we'll shake the demons out of this SSD.
And then the shit falls out.
Santi Kunai. KC. Hey, yo, you seen this shit? Tonberry? I swear I didn't know this was. I didn't know I had this ready on Tuesday.
Excellent.
That was my favorite picture to come out when that got announced, is just people posting his head.
Yes. Devil Summoner Raido Kuzunoha versus Digital Devil Saga Switch Edition. Devil Summoner Brandon Hannaberger versus the Brave Fighters featuring Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. Switch Edition!
Oh my god.
This is a lot.
That is a lot.
Jucifer tricked me into a Podlord bit that didn't fire, so I'm banning him from the Discord. Also gonna ban all the Podaroos.
Holy shit.
No,
This is
Podaroos are a protected class.
Not anymore, they are.
Kyle Bjork. Godfall is the vending machine cheeseburger of lunch titles. Oh, man. Apple Gothic purchased both Fate Musou games.
Ooh.
They might be in too deep. Help!
Hey, I know a lot of people who really like those two games.
Look forward to your new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Hundreds of hours of those.
Yeah, especially since each one has like 40 hours of visual novel story.
God.
Zilter. Fine. I guess you are my little podlord. Come here. Oh, fuck. Oh god, oh fuck, it's the Padaru Lords. They're coming.
And I'm coming.
Zasterder, but the bird is here.
Bird.
Oh. What the fuck is this image? One moment. There's no joke in the name. It's just the name of the dude. Iron Aggro. It is what? Like what? Why have you made this your profile?
I don't know who that's supposed to be.
I don't fucking get it. Whatever, I'm posting it. I think it's from last week.
All right.
The peak of the Game Awards 2020.
Well, he's peeking.
Blig de blue, schlig des boo. Craig Goss. This is sad. Maybe I should randomly try Anthem if I'm bored.
Oh.
No. Try anything else.
Literally anything else. Halo.
Yeah.
It doesn't always need to be a high effort podlord. On the second week of Gexmas, my podlord gave to me 2 turtle bobs and a murderous chibi. And it's a picture of the Gexmas Padaru.
Oh.
That guy installing, updating, queue, downloading, installing Padaru. It is an Xbox Padaru.
Great.
Post VGA, and I swear to God, this is the meanest thing I've ever done. I posted your image because no one can fucking read any of this.
Oh my god.
I laughed so hard at it because Bug's face says I can't read shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, person who tried to put one of those Bug Bunny Godfather memes in here. The way it cuts off, we saw nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing.
It's so I laughed so hard at this before we started recording because I'm like, I've never seen it fail so hard. I'm catching 3 letters from each word. Looking forward to the Cyberpunk experience.
That's right. They nailed it.
New podlord past the remote loves the ending of Eternal Ring. It's the guy punting the baby.
Oh no!
Yes.
I gotta be honest. Keep thinking about the ending of that game. Somebody rightly criticized me in the comments of last week's Big Thing Dimension for not telling Dr. Aggro that at one point the baby god just made everyone dragons, because that's funny.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I have no idea why it did it, but okay. Hey Dan, can I buy that park bench off of you for $500 since it looks like you won't be needing it anymore? And Darth Malthus. Sorry, I said that wrong. Darth Malthus, aka Karasuman. This time, it's from Harmony of Dissonance. That's actually written into the Podlord name, but to be clear, this time their profile picture is Malthus from Harmony of Dissonance. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
I have expected them to get it wrong.
Oh, you expect me to be like a correction segment?
Yes. Oh, thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlord. And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits, such as early access to Mondo Cool and Chugging Bleach, our 2 anime review podcasts, Cursed Content Club commentary tracks, where you get to hear us talk over the bad movies we watch, Cursed Content by Committee, that's our patron-voted Cursed Content show, which also comes with a commentary track, and Armchair Dev extended pitches where you get to actually hear our ideas. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. Fuck you, KZ. I was looking straight at it and you gave you no reaction. You lose.
Well, it's funny because sometimes when no one says anything to you, you take 4 times longer to do that bit. I was shocked at how fast it went.
That's efficient, like a McGriddle.
You tried to own me, so my spike generator kicked in.
You know, if we can do that so that you don't have to go, Armchair Devs, I don't remember the premise of this show. Let's walk it through it a little bit.
Armchair Dev.
Explain what people are getting.
Armchair Devs Extra, where we review armchairs.
It has that energy.
I've heard that those aren't furniture.
You have heard that. You know what I've heard? Some news. Which we should
fuck
get
me.
Yes, that's right. The news.
Whoa! News such as.
We're gonna skip the game words for now.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This one's short and sweet and just really confusing, so I thought I'd bring it up here so people knew.
Oh my god.
Bob, Microsoft uploaded a video to YouTube to showcase the 3D audio of the Series X. It's not footage of a game. It's footage of a weird bobbing 3D sphere, and it's a soundscape they made. And I have no idea why they did this, because they have tech demos from 2 years ago they showed off at GDC that shows how their 3D audio works. And they just uploaded what comes off as like almost ASMR like visuals, like a visualizer you would expect. It's so weird. It pops up with things like blustery wind, hey Steve, dreamy chimes.
What?
I'm serious. Like, I'll fucking, you know what? Here, I'll screen cap it so it can just get inserted into the fucking. Because Jesus Christ, like, I cannot stress how weird it is that they did this.
Yeah.
No idea why they did this. Anyways, it'd be cool if they shipped a game featuring 3D audio instead of posting ASMR visualizers to YouTube.
At least let me download that ASMR on my console and play it on there.
Right. That's always cool. It's always cool when a company does that. And
it works by smart delivery, so unfortunately
we couldn't download the other channel of 3D audio. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's like that. I'm gonna move on. We had Halo news, but I'm gonna ignore that for 1 second to tell you guys, hey, we started a new channel, Gigaboots Tech Lab, where I do more technical videos. So if we're gonna do more The Rant is Go, Button to Pixels, and other things, they're going to be over there. For the time being, though, I'm going to focus on Gigaboots Tech Lab videos, which are specific one-off reviews or dissections of certain topics. What we talk about in the first video is the 3D audio on the PS5 and how to make it work even if you don't have a compatible USB device, and why all USB devices aren't compatible. And the follow-up video gets to mention somebody from SteelSeries, one of the programmers over there, head programmer, told me is why the PS5 probably lowers the audio by that much. So look forward to the follow-up video. That channel's going to get some nice little bits over the next month, because I don't want to do Button to Pixel until I get my Series X back, and it works. So it may be a bit.
Just a bit.
See you in 2027.
Oh, no.
Just in time for the 4th revision.
So I hear we have Halo news. I didn't write this in my segment. I honestly have put it out of my mind for my own sanity by now. I guess it's the news that they're shipping next year in fall?
Yes.
Okay.
And also them just, them going, yes, we know the graphics are really fucking bad. Here are screenshots. We're making our graphics better.
I'm glad it's next fall. I was really afraid it would be like March and be like, we made a good level at the beginning and a good level at the end. That and the rest is bad.
That just means all of the collaborations they had go through the past couple months are even more valuable.
I just think of it, it's now like a Kickstarter, like Bloodstained, where like we have to convince them the graphics are better. and we have to do like all various tests.
So we're going to get Phil Spencer drinking from a glass of wine, and he's like, we'll prove them wrong, and he throws it against the wall.
Yeah, I think there was like some blurb they had about this is why the fucking Craig dude just looks like that.
Oh, that's
it's like you weren't meant to look at them. He doesn't animate. Like his face doesn't animate. Yeah, you weren't supposed to see him like that.
Oh, believe me,
up close.
We noticed. We noticed everything you just said. That's why everyone loved him, because he didn't emote at all. He just seemed fucking out of his gourd.
Yeah, I'm glad they showed it like that, because I resonate with that man a lot.
We also got really great news about Spider-Man. KZ, go ahead and give them the news.
Yeah, both Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales got a 60 FPS ray tracing mode.
That's great because I'm
Neat.
not giving up 60 frames per second for ray tracing. I would
Not
sooner
ever.
go down to 1080p, which apparently is what this does, people tell me.
Oh, okay, maybe.
I don't know, man. I honestly, 60 frames per second is more important to me than the dip from 4K to 1080p.
Yeah, let me
Oh no,
see
I'm
what,
saying I'll go
let
without
me-
ray tracing.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see what the dev ended up saying for it, because I think someone asked if it was 1080p and they said it was something different,
Okay.
where it was like some other technique that they did for it, where it was making it
Oh,
so
that's
not
right.
1080p.
That's right. They said it was checkerboarded 1440. So that's a thing. Anyways, I'm looking forward to checking it out. That's probably how I'm going to play through the original again if I play through it. I'm not going back to Miles Morales anytime soon, so, but I will at some point, I'm sure. Probably right before the next game comes out. Oh, we did get the Granblue event, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
It's quite something.
Yeah. So they're doing their Granblue Fest, and the first thing that we got was Granblue Relink is coming out in 2022. As Phil unfortunately said last year, it's almost done.
So what apparently that whole demo was just a really polished vertical slice. They even imply that during some of the slides.
Of course. Didn't we
they
get that
they
the
had to
award of-
completely restart after they dumped Platinum.
Yeah, which makes sense. Didn't we give that the award of most anticipated game of 2020 last year on the game?
Yeah, I
we've
think
seen.
it's gonna win 3 of these.
Cool.
Well, I mean, it's not even in contention for 2021 because they said it's not coming out that year.
Yeah, right?
I'll still count it. I'm still anticipating it. They put up a gameplay thing. It's getting a PS5 version.
I
would hope it's
so.
2022.
Although I'm pretty sure that gameplay demo was on a PS4 because 1, it looked kind of rough, which it's an alpha, of course it looks kind of rough. But 2, the loading in parts was pretty long. So I'm assuming it was on a PS4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's so strange because we've seen several demos now. We've seen not just that last one they did, but they also did like one showing off a whole city to wander around and stuff. So
Are you sure that wasn't Platinum?
I think that was right after they dropped Platinum.
I think the last thing we saw that we know for sure was after Platinum was that thing from last year, from a year ago.
Yeah, my memory was like last year was the moment it showed up again, and then people were like, "Oh, Platinum just finished their part of the game, and now they're doing the other
It's like,
part."
no, they just
and we're like, I'm like, I don't know. The game looks a lot better now, and I was just,
yeah, a lot of the like I'd have to find it, but there's that you can tell what the Platinum stuff was because it had a totally different UI, or not a totally different UI, but it had a different UI.
I'm like, yeah, just like Final Fantasy VII Remake, CyberConnect, who did all the gameplay, they just finished their parts and then left, and then Square finished up cutscenes.
I try not to be mean to Platinum nowadays because I decided they got 2 more shots, so I'm trying not to be mean to them until those 2 shots come out.
Think about their new engine.
But I have zero faith that Platinum could even make something that looked like the demo we saw today, which had a million moving parts and was very set piecey.
I think Platinum's dope. I just think this game's of a scope that they can't really reach. Like, this is going for something that they can't really.
I think Platinum
They don't
makes
really
great
go for it.
combat systems. I wish the rest of their development was up to par.
I'm going to be excited for whatever they show next. It's not like I'm pessimistic about it, but I'm like,
I'm pessimistic about Babylon's Fall after that thing we saw. But then again, it's been 18 months.
Right.
Yeah, there's hopefully Platinum does something soon. Who knows?
I think even they probably realized we shouldn't have fucking shown that. Why did we do that?
I mean, Platinum didn't ship any disappointments in 2020 because they didn't ship anything in 2020. So I'm not actively upset or disappointed in them.
again, it was basically exactly a year ago that you're like, show me a date at the end of the Babylon's Fall thing, and they're like, we'll see it this summer.
Yep.
And we've seen them never.
They didn't say summer where. It could be like, I don't know, summer on the surface of the sun.
Man, it's super weird to
Oh,
release a
God.
gigantic 20-minute thing like this when your game's 2 years off. But
Well, they had to prove to people that it's not just nothing.
Yeah, and it's at their like event thing, so it's like
I also
Just
wonder
give
if
your hardcore fans a bone.
I also wonder if just like because Cygames has so much fucking money from all the mobile games they run, because like they even run Dragalia Lost for Nintendo. If it's just if this game is just going to be like, we'll find out the budget of Relink and be like, you were never going to make that back. What did you do? No wonder this took so long. It's like it's
They don't give
8
a shit.
times
They're
the
just like,
size of
whatever.
Skyrim.
They're like, whatever, we just want to make a cool game. We don't care. Just keep burning it.
Good. Konami let them make Zone of the Enders 3. They keep saying they want to.
So the next piece of news is funny. This is Granblue versus DLC stuff. Yule will be releasing on the 13th. So by the time this podcast comes out,
Like hell, I
it'll
will.
be out.
I said, like hell, I will.
Because Yule.
Oh
'Cause you
god
said
damn.
Yule.
Oh, god damn. Man, I shorted out on that one. I don't know how to pronounce this character. How am I approaching that?
Wait. Bob,
What's up?
you get to decide.
For the,
I'm going to need you to look at this Granblue name and say it for the audience.
I'm gonna guess Henri.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's also
All right.
Henry.
All right, well, that was announced for January. We know this not because they normally announced it. XC just fucking posted it by accident this morning.
Yeah,
So I
whoa.
assume, I don't know if that's been formally announced yet, but there you go.
Oh
They
man,
didn't
this guy's
fucking
really
let me-
lame. God,
No,
this
he's
is
great.
terrible.
He's gonna be a horrible monster like Charlotta because he's the same race, but he has a giant mustache and beard and uses a spear.
Let me look at this. One moment.
He's going to.
I don't know. I'm with Phil on this one, Bob. This stupid bastard's probably going to be great.
The mustache is too much.
It's fantastic.
Finally,
And
you
he
have
has
a
like
second
spears
character.
on the mustache. It's good. Very raw.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like Granblue Versus a lot.
It needs a next gen update.
God does it ever. That single player load time thing sucks. You're spending almost as much time loading as you are playing.
Gonna be real.
Yeah.
My brain never thinks single player with a fighting game ever.
That one had a
It's like
really
Mortal
involved
Kombat.
single player.
Yeah, it had like
super
visual
involved.
novel segments, and you got
Equipment
got-
system, leveling up.
you got skins and stuff too.
It was
like weapon
really
skin.
involved. I guess I need to put the coin in Casey.
Okay. That sometimes you help massage us into the next thing occasionally. I don't want to like step on you or anything. So I was like, I'll give him the space. It's no problem.
So KZ, you have Sonic news.
Sonic the Hedgehog is getting a 3D animated series on Netflix. They posted that, then deleted the tweet, but they didn't deny it. So I guess it's just happening now. Hey, my news moved. I'm gonna have to get it back because unfortunately, someone seems to have tried to steal it. It's very, very inappropriate.
So what'd they post about this Sonic 3D series?
They said they're doing a 3D animated show on Netflix in 2022.
I meant,
But
but
then
it was
they're-
3D.
Yeah, but then they like made the promotion. They're like, it's like there was a Sonic logo next to the Netflix logo, and then after 5 minutes they deleted that tweet and have said nothing since. So I don't know when they planned on announcing this or what's even going on, but they haven't since denied that it was happening.
When Sonic announcement day. I'm sure they have one of those Sonic Fests or something.
Maybe
like
they
Granblue
were
Fest.
off by 1 week, and it was supposed to be the 20th, like it has been every time this year.
Oh yeah, you're right. 2020.
I have no recollection of this.
Don't you remember the great marketing initiative that was Sonic 2020?
Oh yeah, Xbox 2020.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
So Sony updated their PS5 ad. They put out the thing of these are the PS5 games you got to check out. So it was a mix of stuff that's already out, upcoming stuff. They have changed the wording on Gran Turismo 7 to just say it's coming out next year. That's it. There's no longer a range of first half. It's just going to come out.
Okay, cool. Given that Control shows up at the Game Awards and we
Returnal.
Sorry, what did I say?
Control.
They have a
Control.
similar energy. They're both like art piece shooters. Anyways, given that we got a date for Returnal in March, when the hell's Ratchet coming out if it's allegedly launch
May.
window?
Yeah,
I think it could be.
That's insane.
April is outside of launch window, I'd say.
I mean,
even March feels outside of launch window.
I
They
would
could just
say,
release things close together.
I will go ahead and say that March, that is my limit. Anything April or later, I'm like, you bastards called this launch window. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on.
They said that
window.
earlier. It probably changed.
That was actually something that said really close to the PS5's launch.
Yeah. Yeah, they lied to get more people interested in buying a PS5, and now they can just release it in May.
I think it's really funny that they even said launch window at any point in time, because it's like
I didn't know we had Ryan McCaffrey on this podcast. Sony just lied to get people to buy their console.
well, the real problem is that Insomniac Games isn't being rewarded for lying.
God.
But yeah, I think they have a strong lineup next year. It's fine if GT7 doesn't come out in the first half of the year. All I can think about is when the hell is Ratchet? Because apparently Destruction All Stars is February, Returnal's March.
Ratchet's coming out tomorrow.
I feel like Ratchet, anything can release alongside Destruction All-Stars. It's hardly a game.
No,
Nobody cares.
Sony's clearly putting a lot of marketing effort into that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't dare stick Ratchet and Clank right next to it in the same week. Sony would never do that.
They do it to Returnal, and Returnal just dies.
Oh, I would fucking kill them.
Whatever, that dev hasn't done anything cool.
Just Ratchet making that face from the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale as he shoots Returnal.
I like when we're watching the Game Awards, and when they jump to Microsoft Flight Sim, which me and Phil were like, people prop this up because it's like one of the only things they have, despite it just being like a simulator instead of like a big like 10-pole game. Mm-hmm. And then they jump to a Sony game, and we're like, oh fuck. And then it was Returnal. I was like, oh, thank God it wasn't like one of the other ones, because if this still looks bad, but this is like Sony's lowest rent thing they have, and it's still beating the shit out of Microsoft.
And that trailer started with the hallway, and there was that rumors of Silent Hill. So I was like, no, you cannot show Silent Hill right after a puff thing for Flight Simulator.
I mean, that would be really funny. I don't know that it's their lowest rent thing. Destruction All-Star still exists.
Yeah.
And that was going to be $70 for some reason.
Yeah. So through that ad, we saw various timings and stuff. I laughed because they had to put in the bottom of the Project Athia part, this is exclusive to Sony for 24 months.
Yeah, that was... It was weird.
They really came in with a gun.
They bought exclusivity on this for 2 years on console, because it can come to PC sooner, I believe, was what ended up being the case. But
yeah,
on
it
console,
seems like it's going to be like console it's going to be like PS5 PC. Mm-hmm. And then the Xbox version gets it 2 years afterward.
Time for gamer premonitions.
Or doesn't,
Will that, like Bob said, will the Xbox version of this come out? KZ.
Yes, it'll launch on Game Pass, but for some reason there will be some aspect of it that is a lot worse.
Dan.
I'm landing exactly where KZ is. It'll come out eventually, but it'll come out as a hot Game Pass, like day one deal, but then just like the Kingdom Hearts stuff, something will be wrong with that version.
Bob.
No, it won't come out. We don't even know if Xbox going to exist by then.
I also say no. Because this is minimum 3 years from now, possibly 4.
Yeah.
I think by then the market share Microsoft has might be so low it just won't make sense.
Maybe.
No, I believe in Xbox.
No, you don't.
Do you?
I'm gonna be like that fucking really, really funny NeoGAF post from a few years ago that was a thread titled, I believe in Phil Spencer. And then everyone just shit on that dude for like 10 pages.
I mean,
because it was someone who soaked in every like pro-consumer speech he had at the time. This was years ago, so it was before the super cocaine came out.
Okay, if you want to make a bunch of money really fast, here's what you do. You find a bunch of people who believe in Phil Spencer, then you put a tag on your shirt that says Wallet Inspector and ask for their wallets for inspection. Then you just run.
Wallet inspection.
Jesus Christ.
So we got that Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. It was delayed by 2 months. I think it was going to come out in January. Well, it was delayed to March 18th.
I hope we get 2 months of refining their faces.
I feel like
they already said that, you know, the faces were already like outdated because they used older builds on stuff. I imagine because of Big Sicky making organizing shit wrong. So I'm hoping it looks better and we get past the 360 face.
It was really weird when like the camera did that whip really fast and it got really close to the prince's face and he looked exactly like Craig.
Yeah, they don't mean for it to be like that. It's funny because all the environments in that looked really, really nice looking, and then they go to the face, and I'm like, you just dropped a bad model into something more advanced.
Yeah, it's really weird. The environments were fine, like no one would have complained. But man, those character models are a shame.
Yeah. I'm hoping that comes together a bit better with this delay.
Yeah, me too.
It's a Ubisoft game, so it has to get delayed. That's like the rule.
That is the rule. True.
They cannot time any fucking thing.
I'm trying to think of, like, I guess aside from Assassin's Creed, hasn't every other game from them gotten delayed? Because they've never delayed those that I can think of.
Watch Dogs did.
Far Cry did.
Immortals did.
Yeah,
they've never delayed. They've never delayed an Assassin's Creed. That's true.
The Far Cry one's really funny to me because that was supposed to come out 2 months from now, and it's like we haven't even seen gameplay of that yet.
That's true, man.
Sure, it's really great. It's in launch right now.
I'm very excited for you to say you like that game, and then for Pat to buy it and then get mad at you, Casey.
Whatever. He's fighting the world every day. Every day in the Twitter minds.
50% off is basically free.
I fucking hate that you have to remind me that he said that. Okay. Finally, after 10,000 years, Persona 5 Scrambled Phantom Strikers is coming to the West. It will be coming out February 23rd. It's going to be available on the Switch as well as Sony platforms and Steam. Steam is going to be new for this version, so that's neat.
Why did they just wait so long? Because they're like, people will make fun of us if we say it's 9 months from now. So we'll just say nothing and let them go insane.
Yeah, I don't know what this approach was.
I mean, if it had to be all the way in February, I kind of get it. Just because it's like, okay, it would be insane to be like, oh yeah, we're sitting here in May. Let's tell them how the game comes out next February.
Yeah, that at least makes a little bit of sense. I would have, loved if they did this a little earlier. I do appreciate that they're putting more things on Steam. It makes them say, yes, we'll continue using this after Persona 4 actually have a bit more weight.
It's really sad to not see a PS5 logo when it's all the way in February.
Yeah. Real quick question, though. So it came out in Japan in May, right?
It came out last February in Japan, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
People checked. This is like a year and 2 days.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't know the localization time on a lot of RPGs nowadays, but Dragon Quest XI came out well over a year later. Are people just tired of this because it's Atlas? Like a year?
It's usually a lot shorter. It's usually a lot shorter unless there's some weird circumstances. Like DQ11 people were screaming.
It's in general. I just remember I had a conversation with someone. This was in 2016.
Yeah.
And at the time, we were talking about how it was taking time for certain things to get localized. And I'm like, Final Fantasy 15 is coming out soon. We have to wait for fucking Persona 5 like so many extra months. I feel like it should be getting faster because even Square's low rent games, I'm talking like World of Final Fantasy that's a Vita game,
right,
are getting day and date releasing. People like, no, Atlas is a small company. I'm like, they're owned by Sega, but it's like they're They're barely even AA. You gotta wait. And I went, all right, we are now 4 years later. Over 4 years later since that conversation. It's just as bad, sometimes worse.
Like, I understand it taking a few months, but everybody else has started getting better. Like, when the fucking Neptune, when fucking Idea Factory International is localizing Neptunia games faster than you fucked up. Like, Atelier games are now a month. If there hadn't been a pandemic, Atelier Ryza 2 would be same date. Because
this is still a Warriors game, right? How much text does this have?
Shitloads.
I've heard a lot, but
Yeah, they always
like
have
even Nintendo went from being like localizing Fire Emblem Fates takes us 18 months to like it's like a month later.
Yeah, Nintendo got really good at it. I the only reason I asked like that is because I don't have a bearing for the broader scope of how long it takes to bring over Japanese RPGs. And nowadays, I'm just used to the traditional amount of time, which was, a year and change.
Even look at Persona 5 Original. That came out at the end of September of 2016.
Yeah.
It got delayed in the West slightly, but came out finally in April.
So that was way shorter.
Yes, that was like
7
almost
months.
half the time of this.
Okay,
and that definitely had more text to actually put in there.
It was like Warriors. It's going to have a lot, but it's not going to have that amount. Good lord,
It's not going to have
no.
90 hours.
Hopefully. That would be really weird for Warriors game if it's just like stop in the middle of this mission. We've got a few hours of text.
Yeah, even the third Danganronpa game didn't take a year. It took 8 months, and that's a huge, dense visual novel. It's like an 80-hour visual novel, or like 60 hours.
Well,
Yeah, it's just this experience of watching every other company around Atlas get better, despite many of them being smaller than them, and just going, what happened? What happened?
I'm really glad that we finally got a fucking date, because as I said, when they first unveiled this is the exciting one. Royal wasn't.
yeah, no,
I'm looking forward
this
to
is the
you
actual
just
sequel.
standing up not playing this.
Oh, no, I'm going to.
It will be the best end to this arc where you're like, I don't have time, I can't play it.
No, I will be fine. I don't know if I'll beat it, but... Dude, I have no idea what the length of this game is going to be. From what I understand, it's a chunk of a game. Luckily, it's not coming out right now. That would absolutely murder my ass.
That'd be pretty bad.
Well, it's going to murder you anyway because you'd be busy playing Destruction All-Stars in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play 80 hours of Destruction All-Stars.
Yes.
It'd be the funniest thing in the world if it comes out and you're like, wow, this really is good, but if I say it, I'll look like a clown.
Oh, no, I'm not afraid of fucking saying things are good if they're good. Like, if that game's good, that's fine. Most games aren't Overwatch. Most games can't get me absorbed into them that hardcore if they're multiplayer. So
that's a good thing. I wouldn't want you to be able to easily get absorbed in a toxic way like you do Overwatch.
1,800 hours is bad, period.
Oh,
I want this PS5 should measure my time. Let me go look and see if it tells me how long I played Overwatch.
We're gonna move on. Hey, Bob. So
Yeah.
you've got news?
Street Fighter V announced the crossover. Now we're going to see G with Skullomania costume.
Oh, that's cool. They're doing everything in their power to get me to play G, huh?
Yes.
It's not working, but Skullomania is real cool. I need to go earn that.
You need to obtain some taste. He is the world's president.
I need them to embrace what I've seen Twitter artists do and just make everyone Skullomania.
Yeah. Yes.
Every character should
absolutely.
have a Skullomania outfit.
100%. Sell it as a season pass.
I'd buy it.
I'd buy it day one. But
did you know that that Capcom never released G's theme song anywhere?
Huh.
They had that song done and then just like, no, it's in their gameplay trailer and nowhere else.
That's fucking weird. Bob, this outfit, you don't buy it, right? You earn it through an event?
Yeah, you have to earn it like the other earnable things, but it might for sale later. I think that's what happens sometimes.
Okay.
They're like temporary things, if I remember right.
Yeah,
is that like, part of that?
Yeah, it's usually part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do the event battle thing, And if you miss it, you can't play as Rashid, who is Beautiful Joe.
I really need to go earn that while I still can. Feel this next bit of news is actually really exciting to me.
I was really sad that he took it, but I'll let him have it.
Okay.
1,100 hours, by the way.
El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron, which is a game that looked which is a 7th gen game, PS3 360, that looked very nice, but was terrible.
Allegedly.
Is getting a Steam release.
Real quick, KZ, as you say allegedly, have you even fucking played it?
No, I just saw like half my timeline get really excited because they liked the game, and then I just saw feels like
okay.
I don't know.
KZ, me and Bob have all seen it and played it.
I bought it for $60.
Okay. I'm just making sure that Phil actually played it.
Yeah, no, Phil played it. He talked about that before. Yeah, we all know it's bad, but it's really fucking beautiful.
Yeah, but it's hard to believe it because you also think Banjo-Tooie's bad, and that's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, but see, I
Seems
like
you like to go against the grain.
Go against the grain. Banjo-Tooie. But yeah, this makes me really happy. I'm glad they're doing this new version. Do we have a date on that or anything? Or they're just like, we're making it?
I don't.
Because the stuff I saw about this was incredibly hilariously. Here's a Japanese tweet.
Yeah, I was really sad we're not getting a console version, but it's fine.
Maybe we are. Who knows?
There's no date. There's no date. Yeah.
Of course not.
Oh, it's gonna look really nice if you can pump it up to 4K. I hope it's not a bad PC port that's like it's internally locked at 720p. We destroyed the only point of buying it.
The controllers doesn't work and it runs at 30.
All I remember about El Shaddai is it has the worst action game combat from that gen, maybe. And
I can think of worse.
Yeah,
it's the worst I played. I didn't play shit like Dante's Inferno. And also, it looked really pretty and had like Lucifer constantly on a cell phone.
Yeah, that game has style.
Yeah, the character artist is the person who made the No More Heroes characters, I believe, and it looks that way.
It has like a little bit of a Shin Megami Tensei type energy to it, but then it's like here's your weird platforming segments and really bad action combat.
I don't know. Sci-Fi Magazine gave it an A+.
You had to dig for somebody who said something nice to me.
No, I'm just on Wikipedia, and that's the one at the very bottom. 1UP gave it a B. Edge gave it an 8.
This is 7th gen. None of their opinions matter.
Eurogamer gave it a 9. IGN gave it a 5.
IGN's. I wouldn't give it a 5, but it's down there.
IGN's the closest out of everyone so far, probably. Anyway, I'm really glad that's getting a re-release. That game's cool as hell. There are many things to like about that game, and the action combat isn't as amazing as you would want, but it's still a really neat game, and people should be able to play really neat games without digging out the cursed brick known as a 7th gen console.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's made on Gamebryo.
Yes, it was.
So am I insane, or was there like a thing in El Shaddai that basically looked like Domo-kun? Like there was this whole type of entity that you would see in the background eating each other.
Oh yeah, those were the Nephilim.
Nephilim. Okay, I was trying to remember what was that.
Yeah, it has this insane story based on.
Yeah, it's pre-biblical. Not pre-biblical, but it's like before the flood, the Great Flood type setting.
Yeah, we got aggro for some stuff on that. It's pretty cool. It's a really interesting version.
Nothing like it. I really do suggest playing this. Yeah. I feel like if I remember right, I was okay with the 3D combat, but when it went to 2D gameplay, I was like, oh man, this is really bad.
I think the 2D is what made me quit, even though I thought the 3D was bad.
It's really not great when it does 2D gameplay. Anyway, we're going to move on to the Game Awards news. We mentioned it earlier. Microsoft's AAA game was revealed to be Perfect Dark, made by The Initiative.
Dan. That's one too few A's. It's a quadruple A game.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said triple A, not quadruple.
I'm sorry. I said something remotely sane. I thought I said quadruple A.
When did they announce this game?
When?
Like
Perfect
when did
Dark?
No, not Perfect Dark. When did they say we're making a quadruple A based quadruple A game?
I think it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Nothing show.
Nothing to show at all.
They had one pretty CG trailer and approximately one piece of concept art, which they show off in the interview that they uploaded to the Microsoft YouTube channel or the Xbox YouTube channel. I'm glad that it's out, that it's Perfect Dark, and that we don't have to deal with several more months of Jeff Grubb said it was Perfect Dark, but he said it's in the universe and not Perfect Dark, or it may not be in the universe at all, and you can't tell from the game. He doesn't know.
And you don't have to deal with me saying it's Rise, Son of Rome too.
Yes. So I was trying to look at when they first said this. Technically, they didn't announce it. It was one of those things that people just looked at job listings, and the job listing said quadruple A, and then everyone just, posted it. So we're like in that mode of Microsoft went out on the stage and went, we're making a quadruple A video game. But that was 2 years ago.
When you post a job listing with quadruple A, you get all right to be laughed at.
So I'm pretty sure Microsoft's marketing at some point did say quadruple A, but I can't confirm that right now, obviously. And I don't care enough to look it up. But that's entirely possible. I mean, we've had crazier things happen in this industry. What was it? People credit Sony for the Xbox quote about that console gen, their console having the Toy Story-like graphics.
Right.
People said Sony said that about the PS2, but it was Microsoft saying that about the Xbox. So quotes and shit get accredited incorrectly all the goddamn time. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was there's a thread that popped up on Reset Era about this game where it was like, here's as many of the staff that people could just find through like who is at the initiative. And it's like they seemingly poached a lot of people throughout the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like someone who worked on the story of Destiny is doing the story of Perfect Dark.
Now, was it the person who was working on the story for Destiny who got thrown out because he was too good? Or was it the people who came in and wrote the lore cards after that guy was thrown out?
I'm unsure, and that's what makes it exciting.
But yeah, and then that's the whole idea of the studio was just to grab a bunch of vets.
Yeah.
And hope it works out.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they have people from worked on God of War, that worked on the Tomb Raider reboot.
I mean, 343 was also founded in a similar way, so I'm keeping my expectations in check.
I just want them to show me something so I can be confident this exists.
Oh, it exists that's as much as people are working on it. Whether or not something will ship or whether or not it's good is...
That's where we are with Microsoft now, where it's like, you don't get to just show me CG trailers anymore. I'm sorry.
That's all they could have, though.
No, they can't. I thought that trailer was cool.
But I think the idea of immersive sim Perfect Dark is really, really good. Like that's an interesting place to take it. It'd be cool to see them do that.
So the interesting thing, Bob, is I agree with you on that, and I also was just so relieved that we have it out now that they're just working on a Perfect Dark reboot that I forgot to note that I hate how much this universe has very little in common with Perfect Dark.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
I literally, it took me until the next day to go, wait a minute, that kind of sucks. Oh well.
Okay, I figured out that Destiny thing.
Okay.
They've gotten in Christine Thompson, who wrote the campaigns for Destiny 2 and Destiny Rise of Iron. So it's not the
it's not the original guy.
So it's not a big win at all.
No, it is. Oh my god, that means they got the person that wrote the Destiny 2 mates.
Yeah, it's like we got.
We're very glowing about. That's the narrative lead.
Hopefully Joanna can get back the speaker. But yeah, I don't know, whatever, it's out. So at least we don't have to speculate one last annoying little thing going on.
Yeah, now they're out of CG trailers to announce.
Yes, also that, yeah.
Hopefully,
they could
Can you imagine if they do
more.
another Halo Infinite trailer and it's a CG trailer?
I half expected one this time, honestly.
Move on.
Yeah, I can move on specifically to something hyper related. So, there was stuff that came out ahead of time, and Aaron Greenberg tried to tell everyone to temper their expectations on Twitter. Forza Horizon 4 got the car from Cyberpunk, and during this part, I'm like, okay, that's why they told them temper your expectations. That's great. That's exciting. I need to make sure to boot up my copy of Forza, and then I realized I have no son.
Why? What happened?
I shipped that box out earlier this week.
Oh,
I can't use my Series X to play that because I don't have a Series X right now.
yeah. I think I made some joke about you not being able to download anything, and then it feels like someone's gonna clip that and Dan's gonna slit your throat.
They were correct. So
Oh no!
Let's move on to other fake games.
what?
Like Dragon Age 4.
God damn it! Well, that's a real video game. They showed it. It's called Dragon Age.
That is the most insane part, because the last thing before they show you, it's just called Dragon Age. That bald elf is like, yeah, I'm the villain.
like Adam Driver.
I'm the villain of the series that they revealed in the Dragon Age 3 DLC they released in 2016.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's like, this is obviously not them just rebooting. Why are you
Which would
scared
make
of calling it
sense.
4 suddenly?
Yeah, you already announced it as 4. Why take that back? I don't get it.
Like, I'm trying to like see the trajectory
It'll sell better.
of how they could. Casey, I wish you hadn't said it, because now I'm just imagining, was there a meeting where it's like, God of War did that?
Yes, that as soon as they saw that, I'm like, they're just doing that thing where there was a bad board meeting where they go, subtitles don't work anymore either. No number, no subtitles. Dragon Age 2025.
But God of War had a break. You were ass deep in the middle of the plot with this, and apparently
This
still
also
are.
had a break of time. Don't worry.
It's so nuts that Dragon Age as a franchise isn't even 2 full generations old yet, and we're rebooting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if this is a full-on reboot, but they're reusing the villain?
That'd make no
They're like,
sense.
"Oh,
That'd make
It's
no
so good.
sense.
He's so
there's
good.
a lot of things over there that make no sense.
Casey, this would make This would you
While Theo
can't.
continues to have a seizure, let's move on to Mass Effect.
Give him a double seizure.
I mean, I am more positive about Mass Effect than Dragon Age, because this trailer had everything it needed to have, and that what it needed to have was, we're running away from the end of 3 as hard as we fucking can.
I respect this level of cowardice in the hopes of making something people want.
But this isn't Andromeda cowardice where it's like, we're not gonna even bring it up. This is Rise of Skywalker cowardice where it's like, that shit didn't count.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect Rise of Skywalker in a similar way.
Because
So-
Mass Effect 3, 3 endings. Control, where you can control the Reapers. I forget what it's called. Fusion, where you fuse synthetic and organic life together and give trees fucking circuit lines on the leaves.
What?
Yeah, that's one of that, and that's the ending they pushed you towards in 3, is the fusion ending. And then Destroy, which they did not want you to pick, and because they didn't want you to pick it so bad, they put like all kinds of debuffs on it. Like Destroy destroys the Reapers, but it also destroys all artificial life in the universe for some reason. Because the end of Mass Effect 3 is just it's magic now. We have magic. So but maybe Shepard survives the Destroy ending, when in both the other ones he gets like atomized. So they're picking the Destroy ending, which does not change like fate of the universe. This trailer seems like they're going with, Destroy was canon, we're going to somehow revive Shepard. Here's Liara, the love interest from the first 3 games. We're saying 3 happened, you picked this ending, and we're past it now. Nothing actually happened.
This is so much worse than what I thought it was. I was like, okay, they're just gonna say whatever, you go through the ending. We don't care. Let's move on, try to build something off of this.
Yeah,
now that you revealed it's the ending they definitely didn't even want to exist, but we have to make it canon now. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they
I
have-
expect it more now.
They have to make it canon, because what are you going to do with we fused synthetic and organic life? Or Shepard fuses with the space Cthulhu's and now controls them and, I don't know, drives them around, I guess. So I'm excited because that's right. This is what you needed to do if you want to revive Mass Effect. Just undo the ending of 3.
I heard that ending was really good and the gamers were evil.
The ending's so good that they got penalized by the Better Business Bureau for their advertising being deceptive.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny. But
I hope we do not. It does not come out until at least the end of 2023, because that's the earliest it could come out and not be a mess.
It'd be really neat to see them turn this around and actually make it work out. How are they developing this and Dragon Age at the same time? Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they were developing those. They developed both franchises simultaneously during 7th Gen. Like,
If
That
they're
was a
gonna
long
do
time ago.
something like this, I would hope that they won't do the thing they did with Andromeda, where they were given like 6 or 7 years to make that game, and then didn't make it until the last 18 months.
I mean, they also then did that with Anthem, so they obviously didn't learn.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
with
separate teams, of course, both of them had to learn the bad lesson.
also Dragon Age Inquisition was developed the exact same way, and then those people made Anthem.
yeah. Well,
So-
clearly, let's see.
so
let's
you
see
have-
if they
you have to learn
that-
it multiple
that lesson
times.
then. Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey, Bob, let's talk about something exciting from the Game Awards.
Sure.
Crimson Desert.
Oh God.
I hear
Why?
it's a new IP. I had a new IP. That's what I heard, and it has gameplay show.
Beal said it was really good, despite it being a 45-minute long trailer.
Yeah, it really felt
It
like
just kept
Jesus
going.
fucking Christ. It was
And then Bob
fucking-
was like, "No, that's exactly how Black Desert looks." I'm like, "Oh, never mind." Then into the garbage it goes.
yeah, apparently.
I'm pretty sure your brain forgot the first 7 minutes and only remembered the end part where it became lair.
The end
No, I
part
remember the
is
whole
only-
thing.
Was the only part where it's like, oh, this isn't directly from the other game. Okay.
Look, I'm fine with janky RPGs, so all that stuff looked fine to me.
So yeah, that's probably gonna be bad. I can't believe they gave him 20 minutes to put on their
was
show like
insane.
this.
It was just like every time it appears at an Xbox show, because it always appears in Xbox shows, where it's one of the worst parts of the third-party part of their conference, where it shows up and just looks like 10 minutes of sludge.
That trailer was over 5 minutes long. It's insane.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts. It really didn't justify that long of
It
a
was
trailer.
in the same tier as that State of Decay 2 trailer that they did during an Xbox show that was 20 minutes.
Ugh. We also got other announcements, like Scarlet Nexus gets a release date for 2021's summer.
Neat.
That's good. I'm glad we have a date on that.
Right.
Monster Hunter Rise gets a demo next month.
Woo.
That actually is really hype.
They revealed that one of the new monsters in it is he's quite ferocious. He shoots out a sleep powder to make you fall asleep so it can brutally beat you to death.
Great.
And I'm like, I'm very excited.
That's what the Game Awards 2019 did to me. Just
That had
cause,
Vin Diesel in it.
just cause mobile happened.
Yeah, it was
I
unbelievable.
feel like
Yeah, that wasn't
Phil was
great.
looking down at the time, so he wasn't aware of it. I'm like, this is really great, Phil. It's Just Cause Mobile.
That's really funny.
I bought Just Cause 3 on PS4. It ran at 5 frames a second when I blew something up.
Well, luckily, with the power of PlayStation 5, it will run at a lock 30 while you
Hell
blow
yeah.
something up. I don't know why they did a Just Cause Mobile. That's really weird, but whatever. Someone cares, I guess.
Something at the Western Square branch needs to make money.
Speaking of someone cares, I guess. Evil Dead got a multiplayer game announced.
Yeah, this is the most insane thing from the show, I think. Like,
it was
just-
really
just-
baffling.
just critical misunderstanding of the appeal of your IP.
Right.
Yeah.
So to cover it real quick, it's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Everything.
And
Yeah,
it's
everything.
multiplayer focused. It seems to be like 4 players fighting off the undead out in the locales that you would know from Evil Dead. I was bewildered. I was really hyped, and then it became apparent it was a multiplayer game, and I'm like, oh, I'm just not even.
Yeah, it's like, why would
Yeah,
I
who
want to do
wants
that?
who wants a team-based horde mode featuring characters from Evil Dead?
I don't know, but
Wouldn't you want something more like a Telltale game?
I mean that, or just a Evil Dead single player game. I guess they did enough of those that no one cared about that they're just done. They need a modern quote version of it, and that's what this is, I guess.
I feel like there was so many 4-player horde mode games revealed during the show.
There were definitely very noteworthy ones, like Back for Blood was
It was
announced.
Back for Blood. They announced this. There was some sci-fi one that looked really bad.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that was. I wrote that in here.
Well, let's cover Back for Blood, and then we'll run into that one eventually. Back for Blood's made by the people who made Left 4 Dead, Turtle Rock Studio. It's going to launch in June 22nd next year, so they say. And there's a closed alpha happening later this month, and like about the time this podcast comes out. Is the closed alpha really for all those platforms, or is it just no?
That's just PC
closed
only.
alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But they're shipping this thing on PS5 Series. Sorry, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. This looks hype as hell. I really like the concept of you basically have a tyrant that follows you through the level, destroying the environment and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, we talked about this very early on the podcast, and I've been sitting, or like I got their Discord on my setup on my account back then, and I hadn't heard anything since until now. So it was really great to see it happen.
Yeah.
And the sci-fi one, the Phil was talking about was Endless Dungeon.
Yeah.
That was so good that Endless Dungeon appears at the end. And I go, Endless Dungeon. That's a terrible fucking name. Then a minute and a half later, Phil goes, that game earlier was called Endless Dungeon. What a fucking... I'm like, Phil, you were looking and you responded to me. Did it just leave your brain because
Yes,
that
that's
name was
how
so
bad
big?
it is.
Yes.
It really is that bad, but I'm pretty sure we also hit the end of that trailer and we both went, what a terrible fucking name.
Yeah,
When a name is so bad, it becomes static on your vision. And I was like, I don't blame you, but this is impressive.
guys, this is the worst part. It's because it's in the Endless universe.
The what?
Yeah.
It's
The what?
Related to the other
Phase?
games was Endless in the name that are all, also vaporware.
Oh.
Man, that's like some Xbox Series level of logic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I guess that looked neat. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, go for it.
So they announced weirdly with no fanfare, it was tied to the end of another trailer, Capcom Arcade Stadium for the Switch, which is, going to be an arcade collection for Capcom games, which is always really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they get in there.
I basically always enjoy those.
I own their like 2 volumes on PS2 that they did, where they had like arcade collections, and I was like, that is all of those games from those.
I owned one of them. Me
Yeah.
and my friend, me and Cornbread Pockets would play the quiz one a bunch because one of them had like a quiz game.
That's only on
Yeah.
Switch and not on, everything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Strange.
Coincidentally, this wasn't a part of the Game Awards, but I'm going to mention it. The person who made the OSSC actually made an HDMI mod for the CPS arcade hardware from Capcom, so you can get pure digital HDMI out of those boards now. So,
Oh my god.
That is really great.
that is,
Oh my god.
and one of the CPS3 is supported, so that means I could get a Street Fighter 3 board to get pure HDMI out. But no, that is too fucking indulgent.
Worth it.
It really is. Look, I know. But Jesus Christ. Anyways, so I'm staving that off for as long as I can. Moving on, the trailer that was attached to the end to is Ghost and Goblins Resurrection for the Switch.
Do you think he says resurrection like the Street Fighter 3 guy?
Yes.
Resurrection.
Yes. Wait, does he say it like the song or like the villain?
Oh, I was thinking like the song, but either one.
But yeah, it looked really cool. I like that it looks like it's going for an almost Monty Python animated style to it. It's really funny in that sense. Because the funny thing is, if you go and play like the PSP version, it almost animates the same. Like he always has this insane running animation in these games
Right.
that
Yeah,
always
I
kind of looked like that.
I like the backgrounds and stuff, but the character movement still just looks really weird to me.
I'm really excited for that. Didn't they say that was coming out early-ish next year, or maybe I
didn't
just
see a
got
date.
maybe
Yeah,
I just got
February.
confused.
Yeah, they said February.
February 25th.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
So I went up because there's like a thread on it, and one of the Capcom guys said we have a lot of stuff on the website. So I actually looked into it.
Mhm.
They have different difficulties here, where the 3 main difficulties will let you get the full story, but they have like a baby mode that's like you won't be able to see everything.
Of course.
Okay.
think
And
it
then
was
they
the
show
Goblins.
there's multiple paths you can take, so there's alternate levels. depending on like where you go. You have your different weapons. There is a skill tree.
What?
There is a skill tree called the Umbral Tree, which I will post a link to it because they did attach videos on the site that give you what seems to be permanent things,
That seems insane.
and you can just straight up learn things.
That's pretty cool. That's
Probably
exciting.
gonna be some bullshit super hard mode that's like it's turned off. Do it like the old days, God.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, like they had different like skills, like boxers, which triples the power of Arthur's first attack after being thrown into his underwear.
Ooh, that could be Galaxy Brain strats against bosses.
Yeah, it has me really interested in how they're actually putting a decent amount of work to make it, a bit more different and more modern, where there's more here than just the basic side scrolling and levels. It's like there's stuff you can spec into.
Yeah. Number one thing I'm looking forward to is Joe from GameSack's opinion on it. That guy is a huge Ghosts of Goblins fan. I'm gonna check this out. Very, very excited.
Yeah.
Again,
I have an image of him using the boxer power up.
Another game tragically locked to Switch only.
That's true. I'm sure this will eventually come to other things.
Yeah, that's like you made like you have like these nice paper diorama-esque visuals, and you're like, no, we'll only bring it on.
Yeah, well, the Capcom guys like, we have our footage of the game, and it's running at 1080 60, so.
Yeah, but I want it to be a 4K.
Let's see. What is Bob customizes his deck card in Loop Hero? I'm trying to remember.
There was a fucking video game that they showed, but it had cards in it.
So Loop Hero is the game?
I'm trying to remember what Loop Hero was.
Loop Hero is pixel art, right?
Yeah, it's the pixel devolver game. Where it's like it's like a ring of tiles in a black void, and you set up like tower defense things with cards.
That's unfortunate. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I think it was part of that block where Devolver did their segment, and then they're like, the winner of our award is the game we haven't shown before. And then they showed a trailer.
That was fucking fantastic. That Devolver bit was really damn good. We also got to see Cha.
I guess that's how you say it. Who knows?
That's how I'm saying it. Cha.
They really, when you have a name like this, the trailer should
probably say the name, so that way we don't have to hear it.
Or else you're going to be an idiot and call it Chorves.
Yes. But this was that indie game that looked like Breath of the Wild, but you played as a child.
See,
and you could possess stuff like in Mario Odyssey.
I saw
that was great. Fucking feel lost when they like possessed a coconut.
Yeah, that killed me.
Good.
That single-handedly
really
sold me on the game.
Yeah, I think this game looks really, really neat. Has a neat art style. I like that the trailer ends with them clearly possessing the crab to ensue with Count Crab battle. It looked good. This gave me a stroke. Ruined King, a League of Legends Stories, showed its gameplay off. It's a turn-based RPG made by Airship Syndicate, who apparently makes Battle Chasers Night War. It literally looked exactly like that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking lost it. I was like, this is just that literal game that every character's standing in the same exact spots. All the animations look the same. The zoom is the same. Everything is the same, but now it's League of Legends. Holy shit.
They knew what they wanted, okay? Also, this is an indie game, apparently?
Yeah, Jeff introduced it as an indie game, and I'm like, I don't think League of Legends can be, Jeff. I don't think that's allowed.
Yeah, I looked at the graphics on that when, seeing the models. I'm like, this looks exactly what I think League of Legends looks like normally. But now it's an RPG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm like, that's good.
What kind of brain damage do you have where League of Legends look like that in your head?
Well, like the 3D models and stuff, like moving around, it like kind of that style reminded me of what I assume League of Legends looks like.
So it's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, PS4, Xbox.
What's the problem, Bob?
So
Bob just wants to be real rude.
I'll play it so we all know.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in playing it. I think it looks cool. League of Legends looks like only a little bit better than Warcraft 3. It's really rough looking.
Yeah.
See, my brain goes, it's 2020. Surely League looks better.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Oh,
I
no,
played it.
No, KZ. It's like I don't know why. I don't know why I got lost. Probably because it's fucking midnight.
It
Like, no,
runs on potatoes. That's the end goal.
Yeah, that's the point.
But
See, I assumed it looked better because people were like, 3 years ago, they're like, we're going to remake the map. So I was like, well, if they did that back then, well, surely it looks better. And I saw that music video they did recently, and that looked really good. So clearly.
Speaking of music videos, there was a really horrible band video in the VGAs. It's apparently going to be like a web series you vote on what happens in.
oh,
Because that was at the end. It's like interactive series coming in March, and I'm like, I don't trust you. Ever since Riot Games was like, here's our insane fake band shit.
yeah, they were doing the virtual band thing where all the band members are 3D models. So it's the Gorillaz thing, but in 2020, and their twist is how #relatable it is. Even the name of the fucking song was like really,
It was
really.
follow, unfollow.
There we go. I was like, it's a function of a social media service is all I remembered. And
I don't think these are the representatives of real people. If they're doing an interactive series, this feels like they're going it's fictional characters that have a band.
So is the Gorillaz.
Oh, I thought the Gorillaz like.
Yeah, my
was
entire
the
chat
specific
just
one.
kept saying the Gorillas over and over.
No, Dave. Damn it, I forgot his name. But there's only one guy who runs the Gorillaz. There's no.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, no. So this ended up there.
You're right.
Gorillas is weird.
It's so
Didn't the
funny.
Gorillas just add a Powerpuff Girls character and just put it in the band at one point?
yes. The leader of the Gangrene Gang.
I don't know why that happened.
I think that came out around the same time as Powerpuff Girls, and then over the years it just got weirder and weirder.
No, I think it was like they pointed them out that how similar that character specifically looked to Gorilla's characters, like forever. And then in like 2018, they're just like, fuck it, crossover. That'd be funny.
Yeah, the crossover was fucking good. We also got that date on Returnal, like we were mentioning earlier. It comes out March 19th. Glad we got a date on that. I'm going to be honest, that was my candidate for next game to get delayed by Sony. Like, I was like, man, I bet that game's going to get pushed. Who fucking knows?
Quick turnaround on it, right?
How do you
I
mean?
imagine a lot of their work was on that Battle Royale thing that seemed doomed.
No, that was a pretty small team on that.
Okay.
Yeah, they spent a while on that, though. But no, this game has been at least 3 years in development.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
the way you were talking about Housemarque before this was just like, they're making that thing, and now I'm just scared all the time.
No. I was scared all the time because they were making that thing and there was nothing else going on that we knew of. And then, it was
okay.
like, oh no, we're making a AAA game. And I was like, okay, for who? Like, because that changes everything.
It's a Microsoft game. A Microsoft Returnal would be dope.
I mean, that's the thing. Microsoft has had a pretty bad relationship with a lot of devs. Games got canceled either before they shipped or right after they shipped a few times during the Xbox One generation. And they aren't even the worst publisher out there. There are other publishers who say, we'll force you to ship your game when it clearly needs more polish, and then their marketing team has no idea what's happening, and they announce when your patch is going live. And there are lots of really bad publishers. So I was really worried.
I've never heard of any developer like that.
No.
Who's our AAA game for Gearbox?
Anyway, I'm glad we got a date on that.
Returnal's Gearbox trailer.
Oh, God.
It's got dubstep.
Yeah.
God. Oh, that would be bad.
That woman just says, lit.
And then she taps as she dies again.
Yes.
We should have mentioned this earlier when we were talking about Evil Dead, because that would have been a good transition, but oh well. Evil West is announced. It's not Dark Watch, we swear. It's made by Flying Wild Hog, which is the Shadow Warrior people, and it's coming out for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One and PC.
So the moment this trailer won me over is when Evil Westman is punching a zombie and two completely nonsensical arms come out of his gauntlet to form like an anvil on his fist.
Yes.
which has letters on it, which I need to find a 4K version of that trailer so I can read them.
Yeah. We could just call him Dark Watchman. I'm sure no one will care if we do that.
I mean, luckily for us, no one remembers Dark Watch.
Right.
Which is why we got that comment on, what was it, the Astros Playroom Spoilercast, where someone was like, hey, The Order 1886 is a very original and interesting world. Why do you guys crap on it so much? I was like, there's a lot of steampunk. You should look at the larger world of it. Okay. I love that this is the sentence, and the trailer basically was the sentence.
No. We have to do the whole block of these, Dan.
Oh my god.
You do.
Oh my god. I have to do it in order too?
You don't. You can make sure you do all of them.
No
I
breaks
want
on
to do
any
the
of
last
this.
one first, so that way the other two have even less impact.
I want no break between any of these. You just do it like a death march.
Here we go. Open Roads, a mother and daughter based road trip game, is announced for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Season, a bicycle road trip game, was announced for the PS5 and PC. And Road 96, a procedurally generated road trip game, is announced for PC.
I'm so
and
excited.
Dustborn, a road trip game published by Quantic Dream, is coming to everything.
As you see, whenever a game gets really big and nails it, everyone starts making their game. And since Final Fantasy 15 was a road trip game, as they said in marketing, all the games are coming out now.
Oh, I was
riding that high.
My brain was like, The Last of Us, but you removed the zombies and pandemic?
You see, it was a road trip game. The US marketing said that. No other part of the marketing ever said it. So that makes it a road trip game.
Yes. I think that fairly... I mean, you go camping, you drive in a car together, you have bromance.
The soundtrack has a song called Bros on the Road and Bros on the Road 2.
Nice.
Those are the tracks that sound exactly like Dad Rock. It's really good.
I need the Black Mages version of Boys on the Road.
My god, do I.
Bros on the Road sounds like songs to make out with your bro to.
Yes, they have that energy because they play that when it's like Gladio's like, hey, wake up at 5 a.m. and run on the beach with me.
See, I always remember Prompto waking up at 5 and like, let's go fishing for the big one.
Yeah, those were the only good parts of the game.
Yeah,
yes.
They were, in fact, yes.
We got Fortnite Master Chief. And Blood
Yeah, the first
Fortnite.
part of that trailer was funny, and then it just ends suddenly.
Yeah. We were talking about it during the stream, but they do a funny gag and they build up to the reveal of Master Chief, and then the trailer just ends abruptly. Then they start a second trailer, which starts out funny, and then it gets bad because Ninja's in it, and he's like, hey, red versus blue guys, I'm Ninja. You're old. I'm Ninja. You must be a fan of me. Fortnite. Okay, bye.
Ninja was also a Halo pro, so I guess that's why they're like, well, obviously he needs to be involved.
Yeah, it's just there was a good energy at both of the trailers, and then one of them ended abruptly and died, and the other one just careened out of control and crashed.
Do you think the first Fortnite one was actually supposed to lead into Halo Infinite available now? And that's why it had to end so quickly.
Oh my god!
Can we stop, please?
I think Bob's onto it, but I want to die.
Right when they showed that, don't you remember? I said on there, it's about time they got a developer to deliver on Halo content.
The funniest part is people pointed out, Master Chief's trapped in the energy drink section of your local convenience store. Anyway,
I started shriveling up during that red versus blue segment until almost immediately they threw out probably the most accurate joke for me. They're like, we're from Red versus Blue. That show you probably remember seeing 10 years ago.
Yeah, that made me laugh too. There were some pretty good bits in there.
That's almost accurate to me.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed that. It had its ups and downs, but I enjoyed that. We've been hearing back from people playing the map, though. Apparently, it is not the most optimized thing because people playing on the PS5 are running at like 40 frames per second.
God.
Also, I really fucking hate Ninja's. I guess his stream Sona. I don't know what to call it. That creature that represented him in that trailer.
I think your
I
name's
related it to the mascot of Disturbed, where it's just a silhouette with glowy eyes.
I called him Wizardmon. People got very upset at me.
Stop calling Wizardmon.
It looks a little bit like Wizardmon.
Let me see.
We should keep up the crackhead energy. Arc 2
Sure.
featuring Vin Diesel.
This might be one of the best things in the entire show, because the whole time you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is. What is this? Why is he here again? And when it ends with Arc 2.
Yeah, I was hoping it would
felt
be
like-
Turok.
I felt like I was punched in the nose with a cinder block.
Yeah, it was really a letdown to see that it was Arc 2, because, you know, if it was Turok, you could expect a totally different kind of game. With Arc, you're very locked in.
And I could expect Alex Battaglia to edit his face onto Vin Diesel's head.
And then halfway through the trailer, KZ said, "Watch, this will turn out to be Elden Ring," and then I really wanted that.
Yes, I did. I did say that.
What was it, Bob? At one point, you're like, "Is this Horizon?" And I'm like, "No, it looks like shit. It can't be."
Yeah,
I also said that. I also said that it feels like no. And then I'm like, why is it turning into Horizon? Because now the ancient people are activating their secret technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw they had the thing on the wrist, I was like, oh, it's Arc. But
Yeah. Once Bob saw the wrist jewels, he nailed it. But apparently, this is Xbox Series and PC exclusive. So there's no PS5 version of Arc 2 announced.
yeah, Aaron Greenberg afterwards tweeted that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like very excited for Arc 2 starring Vin Diesel, which scared me, thinking, is that what the game is called? But thankfully not. But it would have been great.
I wonder if Arc 2, like, if there's going to be the story mode with Vin Diesel, and then there's also regular Arc gameplay as well.
I'm worried they're just going to make a linear game. And it's going to be nothing like Arc.
Man, that'll betray the trust of the people like Arc a lot.
100%.
That would be hilarious. This is like a lower rent version of them going, Terry Crews is in Crackdown.
I find it funny because someone said, "Hey, did Arc ever leave early access?" And I just stared into the middle distance.
Didn't Arc come out on Switch? Or am I remembering
It did.
It's
You know,
rough.
if they're making a linear game starring Vin Diesel, they should have given it the subtitle "The Fast and the Furious."
I kept saying this shit was gonna be like a oh fuck, what's the name of that series?
Oh, Riddick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we
it was
were
gonna
both
be.
hoping it was Riddick.
Yeah, we were also on
like,
Riddick.
oh shit, this would be unreal if it was Riddick.
Because Riddick is just like Vin Diesel's self-insert tabletop character, and it's like, okay, he's hanging out with dinosaurs. You could easily get that. He found the dinosaur planet.
All right.
Yeah, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Arc 2.
When are we gonna watch the Riddick movies on cursed content?
They're too good. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm pretty haunted by the trailer where he goes, "Are you afraid of the dark?" Like, he fucking said that. And I'm like, I need every video on YouTube to stop showing me this ad because I can't stop cracking up at him saying that in such a serious tone. Because the way he says it, you can tell he thinks it's cool. And the way the trailer plays it, they think it's cool. But every time it just sounds like he's spooning me in bed and he's just worried.
Someday I'll play the Chronicles of Riddick games.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Vin Diesel somehow accidentally shit his pants into having one of the biggest film franchises in the world.
He's just
I don't know
cool.
how that happened.
He's just that cool. They also announced Arc, the animated series, with a billion celebrities.
Yeah, with every
I
celebrity
saw
ever
Russell
heard.
Crowe at the bottom and lost.
Yeah, I lost it too. Oi, dinosaur, you want to fight?
Yeah, this just seems like they funneled every cent they made from the first arc into the second game in this.
Yeah, no, seeing that was immediately was like, so do they not have any money now at all?
That's why Xbox was helping.
Anyway, I'm sure they got that Netflix and Xbox money, so they're doing all right.
Russell Crowe's gonna fucking punch a dinosaur.
Yes, he's gonna be animated like he's in South Park, though, unlike everyone else.
God.
Fucking Velociraptor's gonna be like,
Please,
my
that's
God,
one of the
you're
best
Russell
bits in that
Crowe."
show.
Yeah, it is, yes. Phil, do you want to talk about this top bit that's sitting here? Are you
Sure.
Okay.
Disco Elysium, the final cut, was announced. It's going to be on everything except Switch. It's going to be on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. If you own it on PC already, you get this update free. It gives full voice acting and new quests. And yes, they're voicing the stats, which makes me very fucking happy. I am eager to see this this poor man's psychotic internal monologue.
Yeah, I'm glad that I only played a little and decided to wait because it was on PC. Because now I get to experience it. Does this mean that they're gonna have voice acted cutscenes of like, "You are now racist"?
Yes, they said they were voicing the stats.
Okay, those
really
are the stats.
good.
It's just gonna be, "You're racist. You are now a centrist," and that's just God.
Yeah, I'm really glad I pushed off playing this game. That's gonna be so good.
Which means we will now get a voiced clip, which some of us, probably KZ, will probably isolate and just post to people calling them the ham sandwich race.
This next thing actually was really huge to me. The Callisto Protocol was spooky space prison game with monsters that I totally called was either Dead Space or made by the Dead Space guy, because on the wall in the prison cell it has written "IC was here" as an Isaac Clarke. Another reason I knew this was Dead Space is because the motherfucker who made Dead Space went on Ars Technica's War Stories, which is an interview series on YouTube. You should watch it. They're all good. And everyone on that entire series has a new game to shill. He didn't have one. That was really weird. It's like, are they rebooting Dead Space?
I immediately thought it was Dead Space because of the thing on the back of his neck. I'm like, oh, that'd be like a seamless health counter.
100%.
Dead Space health bar.
100%. I was like, what? No. Yes?
Now, the part that I have written and read, did they say that during the Game Awards at all?
Let me just, it's coming out in 2022 for the consoles and PC. No, they didn't say that at all. This is insane. Where did you get this info?
Okay, so this was announced on like through their social media, where they're like, "We're happy to announce the Callisto Protocol, a game existing within the PlayerUnknown's Battleground universe. It exists 3 centuries in the future in that universe."
To which I say, PUBG has lore, right?
Yeah, that's unbelievably stupid.
Remember
That's
they
so
said
dumb.
something like, "We're going to start making games and filling out the universe of PUBG." And this is it. So it's called #The Callisto Project, a new survival horror from the creator of Dead Space. And it's in the future of PUBG. And I fucking lost it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, that's completely insane.
What?
That's unhinged.
You make PUBG and you're like, we need to fill out this universe. What do we do? Jump a few hundred years and make a Dead Space game. I don't see how this fills out our universe of a battle royale game that's grounded. I don't know. Well, maybe this will get us a couple more sales.
It seems so dumb to just be like, oh, it needs to be set in the same universe. Like, why? Just be a publisher.
It could be a new IP and not be related at all. I really don't see why this connective tissue needs to be there, aside from just to make people go insane.
Yeah, I don't know. That's bizarre. They announced Gates to Oblivion for Elder Scrolls Online, so that means we got Skyrim and Oblivion.
Ooh. And Morrowind. It's all in there,
yeah,
man.
and Morrowind. I was going to say, what's next? Daggerfall?
Woo! See, I'm the Bethesda guy.
Woo! Woo! I'm an influencer trying to go viral. Woo! Woo!
Roll him out of here before he stinks up the joint.
Woo! But he just said woo. Woo! That part of Futurama is going to be how one of your death streams ends.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
This should have been obvious when I was 800 pounds.
Oh, God. Forgot about that part.
Yeah, that's how he made the sound. It was the sound of the air escaping his mouth. Fucking Futurama haunts me. Anyways. It Takes Two is a co-op game from the creator of A Way Out, dated for March 26th for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One and PC.
EA's greatest asset is Joseph Ferris, and it continues to be correct.
if this man was told kill yourself or make a game where you only play as one character,
He's not interested.
My man found his niche.
There were genuinely people going, whatever. He was crazy in the Game Awards once. He'll probably just be normal when he's not like jet lagged and drunk.
no.
Then that EA show 6 months ago happened. They're like, here's Joseph Ferris. Cuts to footage of him flexing
Yeah, no,
and cracked out of his mind.
yeah, that's him 24/7. But yeah, the game looks fine. It looks good.
Yeah, this game looks cool. It doesn't look like they're doing the A Way Out thing where it's like, depending on what you're doing in the co-op, the split screen gets smaller or different, which I thought was tremendous. Like experiencing that and going, oh god, I'm shrinking.
Please, God, no.
I really need to play way out at some point.
I really recommend you to do that because that actually, it feels good when it's like a real co-op game of you need two people to do this. Like it's not a one person and a dipshit can kind of like make do. It's like, some stealth segments where one dude's going around the corner to make sure that they don't get shot and stuff like that. And then you can see exactly what movies they aped in that. You only need one copy of it. That also helps. And they're doing the same thing here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
one
feature.
person buys it, the other person has a free pass.
Yeah, I think that's a really great feature and one of the best things about these games.
He was going to announce that for A Way Out at the Game Awards before, but that fuck the Oscars bit took up all that time. So
Yeah.
it never got announced. So
Way more important, clearly.
yes, I highly recommend the Ryan McCaffrey interview with him where Ryan McCaffrey forces him to watch the fuck the Oscars bit, and you can see him turn to stone going, oh my god, what did I do?
Let's burn through the rest of these. I care. Oh, wait, this thing actually looked pretty good. Century Age of Ashes, what a title. A free-to-play Dragon game was announced for an early access of PC release in February. It actually looked pretty cool. More Dragon games should get made. I have no idea why they're
Panzer Dragoon looking thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More like
fly
Lair.
dragons and shoot shit, and yeah, it looked pretty good. It looked, I believe it was multiplayer oriented, correct?
Probably. I'm not
Yeah.
100%.
And based on how it looked, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it was more of a multiplayer thing, like during the very end of it.
Yeah. We got Shady Part of Me, a narrative-based puzzle game, was announced for PS4, Switch, and Xbox One, and PC. I don't really remember this trailer.
I don't.
It was really early on. It has like a pretty interesting visual style where you play as a little girl and her shadow is separated from her completely and following along. It looked kind of neat. Might be good. Who knows?
And the Mario Orchestra Skip Sunshine.
God damn it.
That's really
to,
funny.
to explain why that probably is, I don't think the songs from Sunshine would sound right on the instruments they were playing.
Try doing an orchestra for literally any of those. The orchestra can't match the greatest instruments on Earth, unfortunately.
They should have had some steel drums and they could do this. No problem.
Yeah, and then just have the violinists like start plucking their strings.
Yes.
And I guess we saved the best for last, question mark? Sephiroth was announced for
clearly.
Super Smash Brothers.
God, that fucking rules.
It's not a terrible pick.
Now that every single time they're going to announce one, people say it's going to be the fucking most horrible thing imaginable. I'm just like, whenever it isn't that, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy.
I mean, we spent most of last week dealing with people, or all the time from them saying there was going to be an announcement to when it was announced. People were convinced it was Fortnite-man.
Yeah, just because the last one was Minecraft. So it was like, you got the biggest thing in the world once. Why wouldn't you do it again?
Yeah,
that's
the Minecraft
that was their
and
logic.
Fortnite equivalent somehow. Kids like both.
People got into this weird mode with characters of they are now going to only pick the biggest games that are currently happening now, and it's like, but Minecraft's over a decade old. And they're like, this Fortnite earned its spot because of how big it is. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, Minecraft is like Minecraft is over a decade old. 2, it's the biggest game in the world sales wise. 3, it fits Nintendo's like philosophy. So of course it got in. I don't think Fortnite's the same thing.
We're now in the full Nintendo picks mode, so everyone assumes the worst. So, yeah, I don't blame anyone for thinking Fortnite's going to be on here.
I think it's just it's a brain dead guess. Is all I'm saying. Like someone going, oh yeah, it's definitely going to be Fortnite. I'm like, that's really obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like every big popular thing is in.
Yeah,
like there'll be a Fortnite guy, and then. For some reason, everybody knew who Fortnite Man's name was fucking 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
Where I'm like, who knew this man's name was Jonesy? And then I just got mad because he was voiced by Troy Baker. And I'm like, of course, if you have a main character, you gave it to Troy Baker, you bastards.
He just, whenever he voices that character, he just sounds like the character from Miles Morales.
God.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, I don't overly hate this pick. I'm not in love with it because we already had a Final Fantasy VII character, and as I've said a billion times, I like getting more representation for more things in here.
Yeah.
So like it being the same Final Fantasy really drills down on that even more of like, man, it could have been 4 or 6 or 13 or any other Final Fantasy that would have even felt more of a diverse addition to this game than a second guy from 7.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just doesn't have the excitement that is a brand new universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the general excitement of one, it's Sephiroth, and that was like one of the coolest reveal trailers. Like they went all in on that, and I thought it was incredible. I'm just like
went all in, couldn't find the dub actors. I don't know.
My brain wrestled with, yeah, it'd be great if it got representation, and then the rest of my brain went, you fucking idiot! It's fucking Sephiroth.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I just hype this.
I
one
love
of gaming's biggest fucking villains, and that trailer was incredible. Mario's dead.
I just love. Like it just feels like obviously Sephiroth could easily defeat our villain.
See, I find that funny too, and I laughed at that. But in my head, the way it plays out is Iwata's like, okay, or fuck, thank you, my brain just farted. Anyways, Sakurai's sitting there, and he's like, okay, we need to figure out what we're doing for this reveal trailer. I guess we'll go back to the intro. The guy from Square Enix is like, he kills your bad guy. He's Sephiroth.
That's why I love this trailer so much. He kills him in one blow and says, changes the sky just like he does in Advent Children, just goes, I will give Smash despair.
And this gave me
fucking works everyone.
It gives me a fucking stroke because the trailer starts showing the intro, right? And I'm like, oh, it's the intro, and they're gonna change it so whoever is here needs to have time travel powers. And 7 Remake happened, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm having a seizure live on camera.
Yeah, that. Then when someone pointed out, because Sakurai is obsessed with like using Smash assets to recreate games, and
yes,
the two people that went after fucking Sephiroth and get owned are Bayonetta and Greninja, and someone's like, that's Vincent and Yuffie. And I'm like, I'm gonna shit my whole ass.
Not half, all of it.
Yes, all of it, because I'm like, that's what he always does. And people saying they just recreated most of all of the money shots of Advent Children in that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm doing this thing that I've had to do since Joker came out, where I go, I have no idea if I'll be able to play this guy.
Oh yeah, because I've seen some people break down that trailer. It looks pretty clear that he's gonna have like some Joker-esque stance mode, where when the wing's out, his moves are better.
That could either be really great for me or terrible.
Because someone showed him throwing a projectile in the beginning, and it did like baby damage, but when the wing was out, it just nuked the screen.
I love his final smash being that form. It's really funny to me.
I need some representation on that. I need more bad videos.
I was like, yes. I'm not in love with it being another bad video.
That's just what DLC is now, I guess. That's I'm sorry, man.
I want to see what tier of bad video it is, because so long as it's better than Steve's video, which I think is the worst of the videos.
It could just end up being a Byleth thing, to be perfectly honest. It could just be PNG, animated PNG motion tween.
Yeah, I assume it's that or like Hero.
I'm assuming for now. I'm putting my money on that. But it's
like
just
a
really
low frame rate video.
It's Sega CD quality.
It'll be like a 15 frames a second video, like it was on the PS1.
God,
That'll be really good.
Yeah.
So they showed Omni/version 5, so that implies some sort of going back and touching things up, maybe with Cloud or the pre-existing level.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll do that for his Advent Children costume. Because he has the alt that's just that, and there's like 2 colors for it. So I'm thinking they'll just do that.
Okay. Well, hopefully
while
we
giving
get
us
more
2
music.
new songs.
Yeah, I would like more than 2. I would like a decent number, and I hope that was a core of why this deal got made, right?
When I believe it because of that Final Smash, pretty much. Where I'm like, they went back and added shit. I feel like they went, you will give us some music.
I won't believe that until I see it. Whenever he does that thing where he announces everything.
Yeah, we got
Breakdown
4 days.
video.
That despite them could have picked literally anyone else from anything in Square's catalog, but they picked another FF7. I'm like, that's lame, but God, it's Sephiroth, and there's a stream called Sakurai Presents Sephiroth.
Yeah, there has.
I'm like, this is the type of thing my brain would think about for a while. I'm like, if it's Gaming's All-Stars, you gotta fucking get Sephiroth in there.
I hope the last character's just Goku.
But yeah, Sephiroth is that like brain dead level pick that I hear from people who used to come into GameStop all the time. Of like, oh man, Cloud's there, Sephiroth's gotta be there. He's just gotta be.
Well, I'm glad they're right. He's a cool video game character.
It's just, yeah. I will probably enjoy playing Sephiroth, but oh man. I want some excitement from this pass.
Yeah, this was exciting. I don't know where you're from.
No, I totally see where Bob's coming from. This isn't an exciting left field, out of left field pick. This is Sephiroth. So, like, it makes sense. It doesn't broaden Smash to include more franchises. It's the Cloud's villain. So, like, if we took this logic to the rest of the roster, then it would also be equally, kind of.
I mean, I'd be down if his like DLC character Eggman in his stupid fucking floating thing.
Oh my God.
I'd be down for that.
I might play as him. I might enjoy him mechanically, but that also would be about the same level for me of just like, really, dude?
I'd also be down for DLC character Alucard.
They're going to go down this path. They need to add more villains, which is also, I'm a big proponent of get more bad guys in here. Because there's, they keep having to pick the main character for obvious reasons. So, of course, we need to add in, Wart.
No.
Yeah, we
Mario
need to bring
2.
in more antagonists, so we'll get an antagonist from Fire Emblem Three Houses to go with Byleth.
I mean, really, every time you add a Fire Emblem character to Smash, they are the new antagonist.
Yeah.
I'd be a lot more if they hadn't said this is it, this is the end, there's no more after this pass. I'd be more okay with them just being like, okay, we're gonna just add a bunch of villains of characters.
I'm curious.
There.
I haven't been keeping track of this, and the release schedule and everything about this is kind of weird. How many more characters are left?
3.
Okay. At least
Yeah,
it's not
one
2.
more than the usual.
And there's nothing announced for after that, so this is gonna
They
be it.
specifically
One of those
said this
slots
was
is already
it.
dead because it's Pokemon.
Yeah, in his like Famitsu column, he says things with the energy of, "I'm so excited that I will never have to make another Smash."
They said when they
once these are
announced this
done."
pass, this will be the final downloadable content for Smash Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's reiterated it since then.
And then Nintendo's like, this sold so much, do a 3rd season.
He's
It's like,
like,
no,
please let me die.
my bones.
I had basically no break between 3DS and Wii U. You're making me make the same game for 10 straight years.
Yep.
That's awful. Anyways, really excited for that character to come out. Did they announce a date?
No, but he's doing a stream on the 17th, so it'll either
So we'll know
drop that night or drop a week later, which
One of-
might be weird because then it'd be like
On
Christmas Eve.
Christmas. What did you get
Man.
for Christmas? Sephiroth.
Yeah, I
Fuck
imagine it'd
yeah,
be like
man.
Monday or something that next week. There's no way they'd be like, yeah, Christmas Day.
Christmas,
Merry,
motherfucker.
Merry Christmas. Sephiroth has an alt that's just him with no shirt, full nipples,
And they're
jacked to
pierced.
shit. That is going to sell them 750,000 copies of that DLC alone.
They're cowards for not doing that for Terry.
They absolutely are, but I love shirtless Sephiroth with Terry's bottom. That has been blowing my ass out all day.
It fits way too well. Yeah.
Oh man. So I'm gonna call my shot now. Cactuar me costume. Cactuar me fighter costume.
That'd be really good.
This is an exciting moment. We're getting one of two routes here, or maybe three. Three is like funny Final Fantasy, like small references. The second one is a bunch of Final Fantasy like 7 characters and maybe some from the older ones. And then the other one is just like, all right, here's everyone who didn't get in. So Geno's gonna show up, and then Sora's gonna show up, and then I don't know, a Xenogear.
Oh yeah, we do know that one of the characters has like 2 voice sets.
And then one M-rated game, so they have to say the character's name and not the franchise, like Altair and.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if Square has this M-rated franchise that's really big. I don't think they do.
No, they don't.
Is Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Parasite
Tomb Raider's
rated M,
it.
so is it going to be like Smash Cross Aya Brea?
No, it'll be Smash Cross Laura Croft.
Smash Cross getting fucking sued by that guy.
No, that guy doesn't own Ibrea.
That's
owns the novel.
ridiculous. You can't own Nia Bray. She's a strong, independent woman.
Digital actress, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
She was going to be in the first Kingdom Hearts until the staff ruined it.
I wish you never told me that. So that's our news.
Yeah, they're like, we would rather no more if you put in Aerith, and he's like, okay, I was just going to put in Aya Brea for this role.
Oh my god, that would have been much better.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, I learned that
Jesus.
last year, and it really fucking hurt. I'm like, damn, that would have been sick.
Yeah, would have. Anyway, that's news for this week. I don't know what we got going on over the next week. Hey, Casey, what do you have going on?
Man, I'm just trying my best to like keep up playing games for the game of the year. I didn't even say it on here. I played 13 Sentinels, and I'm like a good few hours in. Bob, oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
It's insane.
god, dude. I'm this is the most crack-headed story I've ever played in my life, and I'm maybe 15% of the way in.
Yeah.
Because they format that where it's each section is 25 minutes of story long, and then it's done, and then maybe you continue or pick someone else. It's like running into a series of landmines, but each one's different. It explodes in a different way. And whatever, the gameplay is all right.
That actually is the next game I'm playing on my backlog of Game of the Year 2020 stuff. Really glad I got Streets of Rage 4 out of the way, which was really great. So hopefully going into this, it will also be really great, and this December will be super great for me.
Yeah, the conversation around that game is going to be insane. Where it's like, I learned this insane plot point in hour 1 compared to your hour 20. That's what happens when there's 13 characters.
Right?
Yeah. And you get to choose.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
This is my shit. So yeah, I just wanted to say that game is my shit. All right.
Audience, I don't think I've told you this yet. I've had the Game of the Year awards music stuck in my head for 2 months in anticipation of that recording.
It's a good song.
I'm looking at our document of planned things, and it looks pretty nightmarish. I'm excited.
Hey, Phil, what do you have going on in the next week?
I don't know. I'm death crunching to get ready for Game of the Year. Maybe streams will
yeah.
happen. I don't know at this point. I still have to beat like 3 things, even with banishing Cyberpunk to like March.
We're also honorable and brave, fucking actually playing games that came out this year before reviewing them.
Yeah,
I
nobody
don't
else would be
think
like, nah, nobody else is like, you have to beat this 80-hour game to talk about it on Game of the Year. They're like, I played 5 hours. That's good enough. Meanwhile,
I'm gonna play 2 hours of it so I can block it against someone else in Game of the Year.
Meanwhile, we have all linked our arms to support each other and are marching through a hail of arrows.
Basically, and on the other side is jack shit for ad revenue. Like, oh. I really wish culturally we moved away from put out the garbage in January. So that's part of the reason why I really, really stand behind doing this.
Well, games no longer do that. January's a month.
Games don't.
Movies
but
are
anything
still...
that's ad driven, like YouTube channels and basically everything on that side. And
It's
also
always been bad, except for those times, where the apocalypse happened. So instead of January being bad, it's like the first half of the year is bad.
True. Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining the Game Awards brought to you by Cheerwine. I wish that could be real.
Man, that would be really good.
I'm drinking Legend. Hold on. The most important part of the Game Awards is when he comes out onto the stage in all black, but you can't see him except for his tennis shoes. And I lost it, and I will never get over it. How does he come out with those bright ass white tennis shoes, Jeff Keighley?
Weren't those tennis shoes a reference to Among Us?
I don't think so.
Because I saw people saying that.
I don't think
like
so.
They were some
just
kind of shoes you can put on your guy in Among Us, and then that was all over the show.
I saw a bunch of people posting meme images of Among Us with shoes saying "Among Drip."
Yeah, those shoes were chosen by a professional dresser who hooks up celebrities with pimp-ass shoes. He actually tweeted a link to the exact person on Twitter. I was like, hot damn, Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley's getting too strong. It seemed like a complete mismatch with the outfit, but whatever, you do you. Those were probably $800 shoes.
Whatever, even cars have high beams on them. Fuck.
I put a PlayStation in my trunk.
I'm putting a PlayStation in the trunk. Please no. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support the GB Podcast Network, head on over to patreon.com/GB Podcast so that way you can get exclusive behind the scenes on stuff, other content. There's a lot of content. It's basically non-ending avalanche of content. So head on over there, become a $5 backer or a Podlord today. This month's Gigaboots videos were brought to you by our lordly executive producers, Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Red Blaze 27, Third Birthday Wen, and Adam Macarena. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these guys. Soar on over to patreon.com/Gigaboots and become an executive producer today.